Hello, welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet. Of course, we are live on Soccer M and Football Daily's YouTube channel right now. Loads of games to bring you tonight. 6 games in total. Woo! And we've got a stellar lineup because of that. First up has to be the smartest dressed man in Football Social history. He's off to play snooker afterwards. It's Clinton Morrison. There he is. Come on! How are you? Looking dapper as always.
I am always looking dapper. You have to make an effort for this show, most definitely, and I've made an effort.
And you particularly, you do a lot of media, but you love this show, don't you?
Yeah, I love the show. It's a great show, and hopefully you can get me on a bit more from now towards the end of the season.
Well
but I do like it.
You, of course, are going to be watching one of your former clubs. Tell us the game you're watching and how much you're looking forward to this one.
Crystal Palace, Southampton. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a huge game for Palace.
Yep.
On the back of a good result on the weekend against Man City. It'll be a difficult game because Southampton have got Danny Ings, who's in terrific form, but I'm going for a Palace win.
Going for a Palace win. OK, and alongside you, Man City representative. Not wearing his Man City shirt today. It's James Wayne. Wayne, tell me what shirt that is you've got.
Kaiserslautern, I think it's 98 when they won the Bundesliga.
Vintage, OK.
Yeah.
For what reason? Just because it's a good shirt?
I don't know. I found out that they've collapsed into the third... Not collapsed. They haven't collapsed. They've dropped into the third tier. So it's kind of one of those underdog stories you kind of... And it's a beautiful kit anyway.
All right, support the underdog.
Yeah,
and of course, you will be watching Sheffield United against Man City. Potential tricky game that for Man City, the way Sheffield United are playing this season.
The way Man City's been playing, every game's a tricky game at the moment. But, I mean, as every game, I want to see us win. I expect us to win, but we've seen other teams cause us problems this season. So I expect to win, but... Yeah, we'll see.
OK, so that'll be one of the games that we focus on throughout the stream. And then, of course, the 5 games that kick off at 7:30 will be across. And then, of course, Chelsea play Arsenal. That game kicks off from 8:15. So we'll also bring you that game. Every goal that happens, we will bring you. So, Will, you're on the multi-screen, which is possibly the toughest job going because you're across 4 games. So remind us what 4 games you will be across.
Well, I'll be jumping on the back of Clinton watching Crystal Palace versus Southampton, Villa versus Watford, Bournemouth versus Brighton and Everton versus Newcastle, my friend.
Which game are you most looking forward to and why?
I'm looking forward to Watford versus Aston Villa because Troy Dean is a blue nose and he scored 5 goals in his last 3 appearances. Yes, I've read the stat.
That is why he's on for the research. There we go, Will. Completing the lineup, Doogie, you're on Social Corner. Doogie, great to have you back on. Just remind the viewers how they can get involved in the show because, of course, they are a big part of this show.
Yes, they are. Please get your comments and your questions in to the streams for Football Daily and Soccer AM, and I'll ask the best of the questions to our wonderful panellists tonight. Yeah,
get your questions in. So let's have a reminder of all of those fixtures because it should be an epic night. Hoping for goals galore on the Football Social. Villa against Watford. It is Bournemouth badly needing a win. Bournemouth against Brighton. Crystal Palace, which Clinton Morrison will be watching and reacting and very animated, we hope, against Southampton. Everton play Newcastle and Sheffield United Man City. So they are all 7:30 kickoffs. And then, of course, the London derby, 8:15 kickoff, sees Arsenal travel to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea. Let's have a look at how the Premier League table currently stands going into tonight's fixtures. It does not make for good reading for Norwich fans. Rock bottom, 17 points from 23 played with a goal difference of -22. Bournemouth and Aston Villa make up the bottom 3, but only a point behind Watford and West Ham. So very tight at the bottom. Let's have a look at the top. Arsenal, who will feature, down in 10th, 29 points from 23. And, of course, makes for great reading for Liverpool fans. 64 points from 22. Goal difference +38. And still a lot of places up for grabs, particularly that 4th spot. Clinton, do you think the 4th is really up for grabs?
Yeah, most definitely.
This year?
I think Lampard's done a terrific job at Chelsea. With the transfer ban that they've had bringing through them youngsters with Jody Morris, terrific job. But I think Man United, a lot of people having a go at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They're not that far behind Chelsea. So if you go on a few good runs, they could sneak in there. But I think that 4th place is definitely up for grabs.
So just on that, do you think some of the critics of Ole has been harsh then?
Yeah, I do think it's harsh, but I do think it's harsh. But then you see after the weekend, some of his comments, he comes out and says Liverpool are a direct team. Liverpool are nowhere near a direct team. They play football and they battered them on the weekend, really and truly. They're in 2nd gear. If they'd gone up to 3rd and 4th gear, could have been 5 or 6. So some of the comments he comes and makes doesn't help himself. But I do think he gets too much criticism because you have to realise what Man United were years ago to what they are now. It's a completely different team.
OK, let's look at the starting lineup. The team news is in. So this is our first feature game, as we previously mentioned. This is the Sheffield United team that have been doing so well under Chris Wilder this season. It's not going to be an easy game, we don't think, for Man City. Henderson in goal, back 3 of Basham, Egan and O'Connell, all having great seasons. And then that midfield consisting of Baldock, Besic, Norwood, Fleck, Stevens, Ollie McBurney and Billy Sharp up top. This is the team they will be facing. And big news coming out of Man City. Aymeric Laporte is back for his first game since that injury that he suffered at the end of August. So big news for Man City, and that of course means Fernandinho goes into his favoured role in midfield. So it's Ederson, Walker, Otamendi, Laporte, Zinchenko. Midfield three of Rodri, Fernandinho and De Bruyne. Front three of Mahrez, Jesus and Sterling. So Wayno, initial thoughts on that Man City team?
Yeah.
Big news with Laporte back.
I'd love to see him back. I mean, talk about players, like missing players, the difference between him in our team and him out of our team is just, it's absolutely mind-boggling how one player can make such a difference. I'm also really interested to see how Fernandinho and Rodri are going to play in the same team, because you expect it to be either one of the two playing. You kind of see them sitting with Kevin De Bruyne just in front. So that's interesting for me, but I can see so much possession in this team.
And the front three as well? I mean, you've got a lot of options in that area
I mean,
of the
out of the
pitch.
three, I mean, it's weird to say now, but I think Mahrez and Jesus have been playing a little bit better than Sterling. Not to say he's been playing badly at all. Just hope. I mean, they're all fantastic players, so I can't really complain. Strange not to see Aguero in there, considering the form he's in. 5 goals already in January. But I mean, as I always say, a wealth of talent in our team, so I can't complain when the lineup comes out.
As a former striker, Clinton, if you're Sergio Aguero, we know that they've got strength and depth in that area, but if you're in the form he's in and not starting, would you be knocking on the manager's door, or do you understand it?
I'd be gutted. I wouldn't be understand. I don't need a rest. When I'm scoring goals, I don't need a rest. When I'm not scoring goals, then keep me on the bench. But you know what Pep's like? He's got loads of talent up front. Jesus, when he comes in, he does ever so well, scores goals. But if I'm Aguero, I'd be devastated I'm not playing tonight against Sheffield United. But Sheffield United are good defensively, so maybe bring him on and he can come and make an impact. But I love Aguero. For me, one of the best strikers there ever will be to grace the Premier League, but not the best, because the best is, without a shadow of a doubt, Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry over Aguero for you?
Yeah, definitely. Thierry, both superb goal scorers, but Thierry Henry was elegant. The way he went past people and playing against them.
Wasn't he?
And plus, I've got his French shirt and his Arsenal shirt, so it makes it even better.
That's part of the reason why. There you go. Gets a round of applause from Will Fraser. And it's very topical, of course, because last week Sergio Aguero did pick Henry as the most goals for an overseas player in the Premier League. Also overtook Alan Shearer's record for the hat-tricks as well. So top player, but he isn't in the starting lineup. As always with the Football Social, we can bring you our group bets. So this is what we think will happen. Not an easy one to call tonight. There's a lot of very tough fixtures to call. I am the nerd about the results in the Everton-Newcastle game. In the end, I just went for Everton to win. Clinton Morrison, of course, went for his former club, Crystal Palace, to beat Southampton. Will, you went away win, Aston Villa. Maybe we'll see Dave Jackson appear later on in the show, because he has given us his prediction for Chelsea v Arsenal. He's gone for an Arsenal win. Big fan, great bloke, Arsenal fan on the Football Social. He might be joining us later, so stay tuned. James Wayne has gone for a Man City win against Sheffield United, and Doogie has gone away win, Brighton to beat Bournemouth. You can get odds, incidentally, of 138 to 1 on that. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. All odds are live and subject to change. For more information, go to skybet.com, and please gamble responsibly. As well as all of that, we can give you some price boosts, courtesy once again of our friends at Skybet. Raheem Sterling to score any time was 7-5. You can now get that for 6-4. Ollie McBurney to score any time was 5-2. That's 7-2 now. Gabriel Jesus to score a header was 9-1. That has been price boosted to 11-1. And KDB to score from outside the penalty area was 13-2. Now 15-2. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. So some interesting price boosts with Skybet there. Will.
Yes, my friend.
We'll catch up, Brett. How do you see the first feature game going? Man City at Sheffield United. Tricky game, this. A lot of
we were just looking at the lineups. Me and Duke, and no John Lundstrom there for fantasy football fans. Obviously been banging them in for fun in sort of that midfield defensive role. But it's going to be a tough test. Obviously a great result at the Emirates the other day. I can see a score draw on the cards myself.
A score draw, OK.
But that's all I'll give you.
That's all you give me. That's all. You just tease me. We can go around the round and give you some live pictures. So round the grounds, these are the live scenes at Villa Park. Dean Smith names the same 11 that started the 1-1 draw at Brighton on Saturday, meaning Aston Villa are without a recognised striker for their 4th successive match, Clinton. Wow. Just one forced change for Watford as Zaha picked up a muscle injury late on against Tottenham at the weekend and is replaced by Roberto Pereira. So those are the live scenes from Villa Park. And it's a huge, huge night on the south coast. It's been dreadful recently for Bournemouth. loss after loss after loss, and of course they lost that huge 6-pointer against Norwich on the weekend, having been down to 10 men. They need points badly against Brighton, and Bournemouth manager Eddie Howe makes 2 changes from the side that started their narrow defeat at Norwich on Saturday. Simon Francis and Dominic Solanke come in for Steve Cook and Dan Gosling. Brighton make 2 changes from the side that drew with Aston Villa on Saturday. Trossard and Connolly start on the bench, with Jakenbash and Pascal Gross both starting. Gross both starting. No, the tongue twister there.
That's what I mean.
So those are the scenes from the South Coast. We can now go to Crystal Palace, Clinton.
Yes, Selhurst Park.
There we go, Selhurst Park. Under
Great
the lights, somewhere that you had many great memories of. Of course, Roy Hodgson names the same Palace side that drew with Man City on Saturday. Cenk Tosun leading the line. Max Meyer returns from injury to be named among the substitutes. Southampton make 2 changes to the side that were beaten 3-2 by Wolves on Saturday. Vestergaard and Obafemi come in for Bednarak and Danny Ings.
Oh, no,
interesting.
Oh, that's even better than for Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace, very quickly, no Danny Ings starting. Relief for you?
Oh, big relief. I think, is he injured or they must be resting him or something? Because he's done it before. I remember they went to Chelsea and they rested him. Obafemi come in and he scored a hell of a goal. And so he's a good, exciting young player. So you'll have to watch him, but it's great news for them Palace defenders, in particular Tompkins and Cahill, who would have to be dealing with Ings, who's in fantastic form. And the form he's in at the moment, Smithy, I'd say he deserves an England call-up come March, because he's in fantastic form.
Do you think he'll get an England call-up?
He should get an England call-up. If we've got Harry Kane and Rashford injured, he should definitely get a call-up.
Two massive worries for England if they do remain injured. He is on the bench, incidentally, and I did read an article this morning about Ralph Hasenhüttl saying that he wants to manage his game time. I think whether that's because he's seen injuries to other players or not, we don't know, but that's interesting. He is on the bench. One other game that does kick off at 7:30 is at Goodison Park, and these are the live scenes as Everton take on Newcastle United. 2 changes from Everton from Saturday's draw at West Ham. Sadibi and Schneiderlin come in for Coleman and Davis. As for Newcastle, they make 4 changes from their 1-0 win against Chelsea. In come both the Longstaff brothers, Matty and Sean in midfield, as well as Matt Ritchie and Christian Atsu. Steve Bruce did a very good job, has to be said, in Newcastle, who have been ravished with injuries. A lot of injuries for Newcastle this season. So, Will, we're almost underway in a lot of your games. Excitement is building, isn't it?
Excitement
and
building in
at Brighton.
studio.
Team huddle going on for the Brighton
Where do
players.
you stand on team huddles, Clinton? Do you like them?
I don't mind them, but what is it for?
Exactly.
Just the captain says,
could
come
do
on.
one now, you know.
Yeah, but I don't mind doing it in here because it'll be good in there. But in there, all you're going to say is, come on. You just say what you said in the change room.
If you don't know what you're going to
show, maybe.
It is for
show.
show, yes,
Do you think
definitely.
it's one of them where it gets the fans on board? They think,
Of course it
they're
does.
up for this.
Yeah, there's a great togetherness.
You know what I like?
together.
An away
Yeah,
huddle, because that gets booze and that gets the fans on the back.
Away huddle. Let us know what you think about huddles in the comment section on that, Doogie. You're on Social Corner. Have you got any questions about what are people saying?
The questions are flying in. So the 8:15 game is Chelsea versus Arsenal, and people are saying, is this a must-win game for Chelsea, considering their slightly dodgy December period and into January? What do we think on that, guys?
Yeah, I'd say it's a must-win for both of them. I know it's a very obvious statement, but Chelsea have been struggling of late, especially at Stamford Bridge, and to get one up on Arsenal, you know, kind of settle the home form. I mean, it's a must at the moment.
I'd have to say it's a must-win for Arsenal. I think Chelsea can afford, even if they don't, I think Chelsea could take a draw, but Arsenal have to win. If Arsenal don't win today, forget about Champions League. I think the gap would be too big if Chelsea go and take the 3 points. I think it's been a big struggle for Arsenal, but I've seen signs of improvement under Mikel Arteta, and a couple of transfer windows. I think he can get Arsenal back to where they want to be, but it's going to take a bit of time. He has to get rid of the players that he doesn't want and bring in a few new ones. But I've been slightly impressed with Arsenal recently.
Yeah, Arsenal 10th, currently 10 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah, so if Chelsea win, it'll be 13 points. I can't see them catching them after that.
Yeah, Chelsea 12 wins, 3 draws and 8 losses. So they have been inconsistent, Chelsea, particularly at home, which is... I mean, they've beaten some big clubs and lost to some of the teams that you'd expect them to beat.
Yeah.
Is that what they've got to really turn around this home for if they're going to cement that 4th place?
Most definitely. It's like if West Ham beat them there, Bournemouth beat them there. It's like if Chelsea don't score after 20 or 25 minutes, teams get confidence. Southampton beat them, and you just get confidence. I think if Chelsea, they have to score early. If they don't score early, then I think they create enough chances. Teams sit back and then they get excited and play counter-attacking football and usually catch Chelsea on the break. So, yeah.
Oh, go on.
Oh, there's a chance
early chop,
there.
cool. Why don't you off your seat? What happened there?
Got excited for nothing. I don't know who it was from the Sheffield United team, but tried to pass the ball back a bit too eagerly. Kind of nearly fell for Gabriel Jesus, but he slipped over and could have been a one-on-one there. But
Yeah, the first minute of the game at Bramall Lane. Will anything of note happen in any of your games in the first minute and a bit?
Watford had an away huddle at Villa Park, so obviously the Villa faithful will be on their backs, which is lovely to see as a Birmingham City fan. But no actual action to report, Smithy. But Watford have started brightly on an attack here at Villa Park.
OK, Dougie, let's go to social corner then. Before we see a goal, let's take a few questions and comments from people.
Yeah, Clinton, we know we've only got you on for a limited amount of time, so we've got a personal question to you from Luzzy Fumpkins, who wants to know, what's your favourite goal you scored for the Republic of Ireland?
There's been quite a few, to be fair, but I would have not one to blow my own trumpet.
But there were a few.
Yeah, there's probably two. One was against Israel, which away at Israel was a hard place to go. It was on the byline. It was a left foot shot on the byline, left foot, and I pinged it, and it went right into the roof of the net, top corner. Even Roy Keane came over and celebrated with me, and he was smiling. And for Roy Keane to smile, I've done ever so well to make him smile. And then another one was Scotland, where I got man of the match. It was Brian Kerr's first game. Ball dropped out. It was cleared by the goalkeeper. It dropped out on the edge of the box, and left foot volleyed it bottom corner. And a lot of people used to say my left foot was for standing on, but it was great technique. And I made sure I did rub it in. We beat them that day, 2-1, and I scored the winner. And I was giving it the big one in the corner. Scottish fans weren't happy with me, but oh well.
Do you know what I love about that is when you ask a lot of strikers or ex-players their memory of their first goal, they think, I think it was it? He was like the time, the date, the score, the man of the match, who celebrated.
You have to
every
know.
detail.
Yeah,
you know it all, don't you?
Yeah, you definitely have to. Yeah, because that was the best feeling. I think playing for Ireland and playing international football was superb. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And you always have to remember. And I did score a few goals, so it was quite good.
Following on from that, favourite goal in your career? So that was your favourite goals internationally. What would you say is the best goal you've ever scored?
The best goal I've ever scored, and it's right towards the end of my career. It was my last goal I ever scored. It's for Exeter. It was over a kick.
Is that the bicycle? Yeah, I remember that,
I can't believe I did it. I was like 36. I can't believe I scored a bicycle kick. It was like, I was 36. It was over a kick, and I pulled my hamstring after that. Not from the over a kick, from the celebration. Because I nearly ran out of the stadium because I hadn't scored in about 30 games, so I was just excited.
I do remember that.
But that was probably one of my best goals. Yeah, it was a live Sky game. So to get the technique to get out there, I didn't even think I could get my legs that high anymore. So I was happy, and it was a really good finish. But that's probably one of my best ones. There's been quite a few, but that's the one you can think out. There's one obviously against Newcastle. You always like scoring against Shay Given, one of your island colleagues. Coventry, I bent it 25 yards into the top corner. And that for me is special, Smithy, because I don't score goals from outside the box. I was always a 6-yard tap-in guy. They used to call me like the Gary Lineker because I never could. I ain't got enough power in these quads to score from outside the box. So it was just a 6-yard tapping match. Yeah, a little curler. So it was good.
Love that. Fond memories for Clinton. Let's get back to tonight's 6 games. Any other thoughts, comments from ahead of tonight's games, Dougie?
Yeah, Val44 wants to know. We briefly covered it. They say Ings or Calvert-Lewin to replace Kane in the England squad. But I want to know, do we think Calvert-Lewin has a possible chance of being called up for the next squad? Obviously had a good run of form recently. I think he's now on 6 goals or so.
See, it depends on me. He's in great form at the moment. For me, Danny Ings would be ahead of Calvert-Lewin. I think he's a really intelligent footballer. The injuries he had at Liverpool kind of killed him a bit, but I think he's a special player, and he's showing that now. Without his goal, Southampton would be in a relegation, without a shadow of doubt. He's single-handedly doing the business for them at the moment. But if Calvert-Lewin keeps on going the way he's going, whatever striker's in form will get called up by England. And fair play to him, he's answered a lot of critics because people said he can't score goals. He is scoring goals, and his overall play has improved massively this season as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think he only had 3 goals in the previous 2 seasons before this. But now, since December's struck, he's really come alive. Since Duncan Ferguson seemed to really get him going.
Yes, that's it.
And he's carried it on under Ancelotti. So fair play, Calvert-Lewin.
Will, quickly, there's a groan from you before we go back to Dougie. First bit of action in one of your games. What happened?
Yeah, your good friend and Joe Tomlinson from the Saturday Social. It was Neil Maupay on the edge of the area. Had a chance to get a strike off from about 25 yards. Right position, right body angle, but he slipped. And the ball just rolled to the keeper. Yeah,
incidentally, that interview with Neil Maupay you can find on the Sky Sports Football YouTube channel after this show, and you finish watching, so head over. It's thoroughly interesting, if I do say so myself. There we go, there is the celebration. Back to Dougie on social before we inevitably get the first goal of the game. Any further questions?
So Joey HG has asked, why do you think Bournemouth have had such a bad season so far? Obviously, they've had quite a few injuries, but Clinton, as an ex-player, can you see anything that's going wrong tactically? Or?
Yeah, I get asked this question quite a lot. They have had, they've been unfortunate with injuries. I think they've missed the young boy Brooks. I think he was exceptional when he came in from Sheffield United, and last season he was a standout player for them. Also injuries they've had at the back with Ake and Cook and stuff like that. But sometimes, you know, when you're struggling, you want, like, I don't say a different manager. You want probably can change some of the backroom stuff. Not change them, but add another figure in there. And I think Bournemouth need a lift like that, because Eddie Howe's had them same coaching staff from League One up to the Championship to the Premier League. So a bit of change now and then.
Bringing some
Straight
freshness.
to you. Lively start to the game.
I think it was Laporte gave the ball away to a Sheffield United player. Decent attack. Very fortunate we got an interception from Fernandinho. Gone completely other end of the pitch. Got ourselves a corner, which I think we're just going to play the possession. Kevin De Bruyne has taken a shot from about 40 yards. Oh no, Zinchenko. It's one of them.
Easy mistake to make.
Yeah, easy mistake to make.
But it was... I mean, that was high, wasn't it?
But we lose the ball. We're losing it in a silly position. I'm taking Laporte. Benefit the doubt. He's been out for a while, so I can't really criticise him too much. But it's a little bit worrying so far. Yeah.
That has been, looking at it from, the outside. You're a City fan. You've probably seen more of it than we have. But defence has been a huge problem.
Massively.
I mean, not just Laporte, but are you surprised that? I mean, we can't blame Pep for Laporte's injury, because no one can foresee a serious injury. But the fact that also they lost company and didn't replace him.
Stability.
Were you worried going into the season, even when Laporte was fit?
I wasn't going into the season. I thought, we should have had things prepared for the season. You would have expected, if we're going to get rid of company, that we have the confidence in the players to go forth and win the league. And the Laporte injury, I think, was the key factor, and it wasn't helped by the fact that company wasn't there. It's just been extremely unfortunate. You can't really blame anyone. You can't really say it's Pep's fault. It's John Stones' fault, because he hasn't had the best thing for a back four is stability. The fact that they're a continuous back four, and I don't know have the statistics with me, but I don't think we've had that many back fours in a row, the same back four in a row. For a long time.
Do you not think, though, when you lose Vincent Kompany, who's your captain and leader, you shouldn't go and buy another experienced centre half? Because I know you don't think that Laporte's going to get injured, but if you look at Stones and Otamendi, it's been a struggle. Even now, I know Fernandinho's playing in that position he is tonight in the holding midfield, but even he's been probably the first name at centre-back, and it's been Stones and Otamendi playing with him.
It's been a surprise how poor Otamendi has been. It's a shame. I think, he's been a brilliant servant to the club. He's been fantastic for so many years, and you can unfortunately see the drop-off. I wouldn't be like... in hindsight, it would have been lovely to sign an experienced centre-back who could command the back four. Godin I think he was a free, but he was definitely leaving Atletico, so bringing him would have made a lot of sense, but why would he want to play at such high-tempo football at his age? But it's a really unfortunate set of circumstances. It would be nice to get some leadership in that back four again. Yeah, definitely.
Well, there's been a few incidents in some of your games. Talk us through what we've missed. What's going on?
It's all Everton at Goodison Park. Theo Walcott down the right-hand side, got a ball across, but it was just behind Moise Kean, just behind Calvert-Lewin. They should have made more of that, but it's still 0-0 there, but very positive for them. And Brighton have had a few corners down at the Vitality, but it's been all Brighton and a must-win game for Bournemouth.
Yes, it is a must-win game. Clinton, Palace's start so far. Check Toast, we've seen him, he was live in his first game. What have you made of him?
Yeah, really
was that a good signing, signing they needed?
Very good signing. Seeing him against Man City, I thought he was terrific. He led the line ever so well and nearly scored a superb goal where Zaha played him in, and he first time control and hit it left foot, but Ederson made a good save. And I think he's good. It's what Palace needed. They need goal scorers in their team. They've got a lot of strikers, but they're not putting the ball in their net. So, to score in his first competitive start for Crystal Palace, I thought it was brilliant. And he's probably the striker they've needed. But because they're too reliant on Zaha. They keep talking about Wilfried Zaha. And in the end, you start thinking, is Palace a one-man team? So bringing in another striker who can score goals, I think will help Crystal Palace.
And you mentioned Zaha. Do you think he will remain a Palace player?
Yeah, this season.
You think? You imagine.
But in the summer,
January.
150% he'll be gone. I know for a fact.
150%.
In the summer, he'll be gone without a shadow of doubt.
When you say know for a fact that's.
I just know.
Can you elaborate on that?
I agree. I agree. I think the chairman already knows that he's going to be going.
Right.
Yeah, I do believe he's going to. I thought he'd be gone in the summer. I thought maybe they had an agreement for him to go in the summer.
Last summer,
last summer, and it didn't happen. And you can see Zaha was unhappy and stuff like that. I think now you have to let him go and play. He's done ever so well for Crystal Palace. There'll be a lot. He's changed his agent now, so he's got one of the big agents. And now he wants to go to one of the big clubs, and he thoroughly deserves it because he's not only is he a great footballer, Smithy, he's a nice lad. And when you speak to him, he wants the best for him. And he's getting on a bit in football age now. He's 27. He was desperate to go to Arsenal because he's always supported Arsenal.
I
know that for a fact. He was desperate to go to Arsenal. He wanted to go to Arsenal, but Arsenal wanted to pay in instalments and Palace wanted the money up front. I think he would have been a great signing for Arsenal.
So you just said, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you've said he was desperate to go to Arsenal.
Yeah, he was desperate.
You've also said 150% you think he'll go in the summer.
Yeah,
so
that's my opinion. That's not hearing it from anyone at Crystal Palace.
Do you think he will go to Arsenal in the summer then with those said?
Well, if Arsenal came in for him, I wouldn't see him saying, no, I won't go to Arsenal. But can you see Arsenal coming for him now? No, because they've got Pepe. And they have to believe in Pepe at the moment. But I can see someone like maybe a Chelsea or one of them big teams coming in for him because he's got the ability. For me, when he's running at people, he's one of the best in the Premier League one-on-one. He's got fantastic ability.
Worrying incident in the Man City game. Aymeric Laporte is down injured. Yeah. Quite a strong challenge. Wayne, talk us through what happened in this one.
Yeah, we've been playing quite risky. Players to get very, very close, and this time a bit too close. Besic fouling Laporte, and he's still down. Hopefully, it's just impact. But I mean,
I think he'll be all right because he slid as the contact was made. His ankle wasn't bolted onto the ground.
But so. I mean, it's not great. Within,
I'll test out his knees first.
You need one
actually. Straight
in.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's not great.
Not what Man City fans want to see though. With only 12 minutes on the clock and 5 games. Don't forget that all kicks off at 7:30. Still no goals, Will, in any of our games. Anything of note at all so far?
You'd like to think there would be something of note with 5 games on at one time. But Smithy, there's been absolutely nothing
to report.
Nothing to Laporte.
Oh, good. There you go.
Wow.
Thank you. Have a bit of chocolate for that.
Reward yourself.
Rewarding yourself. What a guy Clinton just said. What a guy.
We've got a question in from Molly Fox to Clinton, who wants to know who is the most underrated player you've played with?
Oh, that's a good call. Underrated. Jeff Horsfield. It could be someone at Birmingham. I'd probably say he probably underrated Matt Upson. Really good defender.
When he was at Blues, he was like England touted.
That's what I mean, England touted. He's one of the best centre-halves, yeah, definitely. He's definitely up there. He was brilliant. So brilliant. He was elegant on the ball. He could play out from the back. But injuries kind of killed him. He picked up injuries at the wrong time. But, yeah, he was underrated for me because I thought he was a superb defender. One-on-one situations, one of the best.
He had a very good World Cup in 2010,
yes, he did,
as well.
He scored, didn't he?
He did against Germany. In that game that
we never lost. We never lost it.
Never lost it.
No, we never lost
Never lost that game, did we?
No, well said, Will.
Thank you.
Any other questions from social, do you?
Yeah, Maze Gamer wants to know...
Some good names so far, isn't
Is there a chance that Chris Wilder could get Manager of the Year over Klopp?
Ooh, wow.
It's a big statement, but do you guys think there's anything in that at all?
I shut that down straight away before you answer that. I don't think he'll get it. You know, if Liverpool go on and win the Premier League, they haven't won it in 30 years.
With a record points total.
It's a great achievement, but you have to give special credit to Wilder. He's done an unbelievable job with that group of players. He hasn't spent big money, and they know how to... And I love their style of football. Yeah, and that's why I think it'll be a difficult game tonight for Man City. I just love it. They're positive, and everything goes down to him. They cause teams loads of problems, and credit to him. He's been excellent.
Yeah.
Terrific
I think
job.
Nigel Pearson deserves a shout-out. Maybe not as Manager of the Year, but a massive shout-out for the way he's turned Watford around as well. What a recovery from them. Because they looked down and out at one stage.
Yeah, incredible what the job that he's done so far. And Will's grown. Is that a goal?
No, first real chance for Bournemouth. Deep free kick. I think it was Billingen at the back post. Got it back across the 6-yard area, but Matty Ryan was there with his safe hands because he's a great keeper.
This guy really loves it.
He does love it. He does love the Football Social.
That's all I've got.
Always a pleasure to have Will Fraser on the Football Social. We look forward to more entertainment from him. And still no goal. 15 minutes gone. It's 0-0 all of our games so far. Wayno, as a City fan, how do you assess first 15 minutes for Man City?
I can't even say comfortable. We've looked a little bit edgy. We've controlled the ball, but Sheffield United, when they have had the ball, have looked dangerous. They've decent few attacks. Probably more, I would say more serious attacks than we've had. Struggled to get the ball actually in control in the box. Quite risky, I'd say. Yeah, I can see this not being a massive scoring game, unfortunately.
Ooh, worried already?
Yeah, I'm a very worried guy.
Strong tackle in the Palace game?
Yeah, read it out. Great tackle. To be fair, he's came in. He's usually a midfielder, Smithy, but he's come in and played at left back. Palace bought him like a couple of years ago. He's hardly ever played any football since Patrick Van Aanholt's injury. He's come in and done really well. He's a really good footballer, but it was a strong tackle on Cedric there. Really good tackle. Roy's one of those, like, he knows his 11 and he doesn't like to change it. So he is like that, and that's how Palace get results. But he's had to come in and fill because Palace have got a long injury list at the moment. And that's why they're doing ever so well. To still be ninth in the Premier League, Crystal Palace, with the amount of injuries, credit has to go to Roy Hodgson.
Yeah. Oh! What a rasping effort down at Goodison Park. Ball came out on the edge of the area. Sidibe. You know, remember was it Pavard in the World Cup?
What a goal.
Like that, so but it didn't go in.
Pavard-esque without the Pavard.
80% Pavard.
Yeah, 80% Pavard. Needed the extra 20%. Is there an injury in the Palace game, Clinton?
Yeah, it's the Cedric. He's still down from the tackles. You know what makes me laugh? These defenders, they go down. But when they used to kick me when I was a centre forward, I used to bounce back up and say, I'm going to give it back to you now. But these go, they roll around.
You didn't roll around, Clinton, in the day, did you?
I didn't, did I? No, strong as an ox, me.
Funny you should say that, because we've got a clip of you now.
Good job, yeah. That's the archives. You can't get that back out.
Doesn't go back that far. I'm only joking.
Here we go. He's coming from you. How long did that take? 20 minutes?
Save!
Chance of Goodison Park, Will Granger.
Moyes Keane not had a lot of game time, but he's keen to be back on the pitch, and he's had a great strike from that. Ball out, Dubravka saves it, and it's gone out for a corner to Everton.
Oh, that was the first chance, Will, and you wanted a goal, didn't you? We didn't get a goal.
Need a goal. It's my job.
A few challenges going as well. Just one that we saw at Bramall Lane. And Palace looking to counter-attack through Wilfried Zaha now, Clinton. Just as I said that.
Take it
Terrible pass.
No. Oh, he's in. No, he's in.
Go on,
toss in. He's in. Check, toss in.
Oh! Clinton Morrison. What went wrong there?
I don't know what went wrong. Can we send him back? Can we send him back to Everton? Nah.
Talk us through the replay of what happened here, Clint.
Well, you can see Jordan Ayew wins the ball back off the Southampton defender. And tossing just in on goal.
Through one-on-one.
One-on-one, just go ice cold.
So much time.
Has to hit the target.
Too much time, and he blazes over the bar. It's because he's got too much time, too much to think about.
If that's Clinton Morrison through on goal, what happens?
I'm celebrating. I'm doing my dance moves in the corner. All the way. I'm in the corner. I'm already doing my flips and my dance moves in the corner. But
surely he has to hit the target.
He has to hit the target. He definitely has. And you're thinking of the confidence he has from the weekend scoring against Man City. He has to score. But it looks like Cedric's going to have to come off because he's gone down again. After that tackle from Readabout.
And also we'll go straight from that again to our feature game. Man City, Wayno. Chance to City.
Giving the ball on.
Oh, what a save! Big save from Dean Henderson. Brilliant. There's also another man having a good season, Raheem Sterling.
Wow.
And Morris involved in this. Did you think that would be 1-0 there, Wayno? He knew it. Header in his hands.
I'm disappointed.
Hand.
Sterling's finishing's been a bit iffy recently, and that doesn't really help his case.
All my fantasy.
Sterling.
It wasn't that bad of a shot, to be fair. It's a brilliant save.
Opens his body up. Sterling takes the shot. Dean Henderson down to his right, tips it behind for a Manchester City corner.
Goodness.
Mate,
The drama is kicking off. Guys, I've got a question from Khalid7 as we just take a moment. He wants to know, who has the better youth, Chelsea or Arsenal? So you've got the likes of Mount, Abraham, Reece James versus, I don't know, Martinelli and Saka, players like that. Clinton, who have you been most impressed with in terms of their youth?
Chelsea. Arsenal have got really good youngsters. I like the Willocks, the Sakas and stuff like that. Smith Rowe's gone on loan now to Huddersfield. They have got a lot of good youngsters, but for me, the best youngster at Chelsea at the moment is Reece James.
Yeah, he's been unreal.
I saw him on loan last season at Wigan. He got in team of the season in the Championship last season. He was playing centre midfield, but he's exceptional. There's another good right back they've got. England have got bundles of right backs.
Unbelievable selection of right backs.
Incredible. Too many right backs, and I think he's got a chance of getting a call up to the England squad in March in the friendlies that are coming up. But he's a special talent. He signed a new contract now, so
got a whip on him as well.
He has. That's what I like. It's a centre forward's dream.
So if you had to pick your Gareth Southgate, you have to pick 3 right backs. Who'd you go for?
Trent, obviously, because he's the number one. I'd go Reece James. And I know he didn't play well the other day, and a lot of people will look at me and question it, but I'd go Wan-Bissaka as well.
Because
So you wouldn't take Walker, you wouldn't take Trippier?
See, it's a hard one. I like Kyle Walker. I think he's brilliant. But if you're going to go youth, then maybe so. But if we're going to go with experience, then maybe I will take Kyle Walker and maybe one of the youngsters, either Wan-Bissaka or Reece James, not ready yet.
It's a great problem to have.
It is a great problem to have.
Even Trippier's had a little
That's what I mean, Trippier,
in Spain.
And I think Gareth Southgate will pick Trippier.
You reckon?
I definitely do think he'll pick
Possibly
Trippier.
ahead of Walker. Do you think Trippier's ahead of Walker?
I think he's ahead of Walker. Well, Walker
Yeah.
hasn't been in any of the squads.
No.
But who knows? You just never know. When it gets to the Euros, managers just throw anything out there. And you think,
Do you think when he gets the Euros, like because Gareth had such a successful campaign in 2018, he looked to sort of keep some of those players around him, even if they've not been in the best form. Maybe like a Fabian Delph.
I think he likes Delph a lot. I think Delph in the change room.
Is that because of his versatility?
Yeah,
or do you think
and
that every
also
squad needs someone that can play, one player that can play more than one position?
Most definitely, and I think how he is in the change room with the youngsters, I think he's a leader and he's someone who he relies on in the change room. He's massive and he picks it. So a lot of people question why is Fabian Delph in there. You have to realise Fabian Delph's a good footballer when he's fit, but obviously he's injured a lot. So I think he could make the squad. Most definitely, he could make the squad. It'll be interesting though, because the most important thing is Harry Kane gets fit and Rashford.
Whoa! First goal of the day! The ball in the back of the net at Selhurst Park. Clinton Morrison. Are you happy, Clinton, or sad, Clinton?
I'm going now, mate. I cannot believe Nathan Redmond has just scored an unbelievable goal. He's picked the ball up on the edge of Palace's box. He's gone past Tompkins or Gary Cahill and he's smashed it right into the top corner. It is a fantastic finish. And to score against Palace now is different. It's Kelly. He's gone past Kelly, and it is a. What a finish! The strike. Guaita has been in tremendous form, and it is an unbelievable finish right into the top corner. Ridiculous finish.
So there we go. First goal of the game. It is Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 1. Will Brazier's got his hand in the air. Are we about to see another goal, Will Brazier?
No, it's a very, very good chance. Bernard with a deep ball in at the back post, and Yerry Mina was rising like a salmon, but he's fallen back down to the floor, and he didn't score. It's a corner for Everton.
OK, corner for Everton. Well, let's stick with you for the corner whilst it doesn't look like we're going to see another goal in any other games.
Luca Dino lining up that wand of a left foot, curls one in. Dubravka's come, but only punched away, and that'll be clear.
And the danger is clear. Sheffield United also with the corner, and the danger is clear.
Brighton
on counter-attack.
He's got to get a card
cleared.
It's
Yellow card foul brought down.
That's naughty. That it's 3-on-1.
A clever foul. A
Clever foul.
Had to
Very
be done.
good foul. See, tossing, this is what happens. You miss your chance 5 minutes ago and you get punished.
Ooh,
you have to take your chances in the Premier League.
Palace could be ruining that missed chance. Big one-on-one. Only a matter of minutes ago. Straight down the other end. A few minutes later, Palace find themselves 1-0 down. And I'm talking about Watford's turning form, but Southampton really turned the corner recently, haven't they?
Brilliant. And he was messaging me the other night as well, Nathan Redmond. He was laughing at on one of my suits I had. I said to him, don't you dare laugh at one of my suits. And now I said, I wished him good luck, but I didn't expect him to score against Palace. Devastated. He's getting deleted off my phone. Don't laugh at my suits.
Another one made in Birmingham as well there, Clinton.
Yes, he is. He's a good player, Nathan. He's a really good player.
We'll get the old PR in for the academy while I can. Jack Grealish standing over a very dangerous free kick here. Smith for Villa.
Oh, yeah.
We'll stay with you for this.
Sort of almost in that corner angle. Gone low, come across, bouncing around. Watford clear. And they'll live to fight another day.
Yeah, Jack Grealish.
Go on. Question in from Joseph Cook, who wants to know who's everyone's shouts for Player of the Year at the moment. What do we reckon?
What a shout.
I'd probably start. I think Kevin De Bruyne's been the best player despite not playing for the best team. Yeah.
I know. I've got mine, but I'll let you go next.
I think you have to go for a Liverpool.
Chance City! Oh, what a save again! You're not even watching it! You've got one job to do!
I'll tell you what, it was Otamendi with a great overhead
Thank you,
kick.
Clinton. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a great ball into the box, and all I saw is Otamendi do an overhead kick, and it's a great save from Henderson, who's been in terrific.
Big save, Manson. But what a goal that would have been with the overhead kick. They just got a corner for Man City now. We'll bring you instance of when we see a replay of exactly what happened. It was an overhead kick, and Dean Henderson making two very, very big saves to keep it 0-0 at Bramall Lane, but the danger is not cleared yet.
Spooky, this.
Another corner for Man City. Hopefully they will show us a replay of that. Man City with two big chances. And like you said, Crystal Palace ruined their chances. City need to take some of these against Sheffield United. Because
most definitely.
We've seen a lot of teams in this predicament.
Just saw one ball boy tell another ball boy not to give him the ball. Because obviously that Sheffield United just goes like that.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause
Playing for time.
managers tell ball boys to do that. Take your time, especially if you're winning.
I feel like it's been the year of the ball boy this year. A lot of incidents with the Jose Mourinho one. We've seen other...
He loves that. That didn't take Jose that much longer, did it, to come back and do that? You know what Jose's like. He loves that, doesn't he?
Things have really picked up for ball boys since Hazard was kicking them.
Yes.
That's it.
Which we don't condone. Arsenal Man City. Right, when do we expect, as Raheem Sterling just blazes a shot over the bar, a replay now. Here it is. Let's get your reaction of this. Look at this from Otamendi.
Connection was good.
Bicycle kick. Love it.
It's like Clinton Exeter, that was, wasn't it?
It was Clinton Exeter-esque.
I weren't that high off the ground, though. I couldn't get up that high. It was good.
Guys, who are your players of the year? We never got there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mane, but kind of a sly push for Henderson.
Oh, what a save by Guaita there.
Gosh, every time I try and get
Every time he tries to play of the year, go on, Clinton, talk us through the save.
It was good play from Southampton down the left. He crossed it, and Armstrong was coming in on his left foot.
Oh, no.
And it was a really good save from Guaita.
Okay,
It was head high. He should save it, but it was instant reaction, and it's a really good save. But Southampton are pushing at the moment. They're the better team. After you miss a chance like that,
Just
great
think
save.
what
He's been Palace's best player this season, Smithy.
Has he?
Without a shadow of a doubt, yeah. You worry about when, obviously, Julian Speroni retires and Wayne Hennessy was obviously in there, came in and was number one, but he's been outstanding for Crystal Palace. Most of the fans. My player of the year is Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Particularly in that sort of October, November time when he was really pulling them out of tricky situations. I remember that penalty one against Leicester, a couple of winners, I think it was against Southampton and Aston Villa as well.
Yeah.
I think Mane's got a very good shout as well, but
Yes.
I'd probably go Kevin.
Ooh.
And I bet Van Dijk's in the reckoning again.
Yeah.
Because he's probably the best centre-half there is in world football at the moment.
I think if you say it's fully fit, KDB, I think has been very consistent. I know it was one of it. You mentioned him as well. Do we chuck Vardy's name in the mix? Top goal scorer as well.
You can check.
Other names
Vardy.
that we put in the mix there.
When does this get decided? Because you know when I was playing, we had to do it
right now on the show, yeah.
No, but when we had to write them, it was like in February and March, and
So do you think that's the problem, that it's too early sometimes?
Too early.
You don't
You should
see
do it right near the end of the season because a lot can change then.
Who's the weirdest player you ever put on your form?
Sometimes I didn't even fill it out. I used to get
Clinton didn't fill out Player of the Year award.
What did I do to me that?
I'm sorry to say, I used to get the guy beside me and go, "You fill out," and then I said, "Put all my friends in the team of the year." Who was it?
The strangest player you put in the team of the year?
I always put someone like. No, the best I would always put probably Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Because when I was playing back then, or the Dennis Bergkamps, or the Patrick Vieiras, the Roy Keanes, the Paul Scholes, the Beckham, the Giggsy, it was phenomenal, to be fair, back then, playing against them world-class players back then. But yeah, the strangest person I probably put on there was, I'm trying to think here.
Put Gary in there?
You can't put your own players.
Your fellow
That's the only thing I didn't like. You couldn't put your own players, because I would have put a team of Clinton Morrisons.
Name Clinton Morrison, vote Clinton Morrison. We don't accept this.
No, we don't.
How much do players actually care about it on the inside? Like, would Roy Keane ever mention anything at international duty? Like, wasn't nominated again?
Nah, he's not bothered. He's nowhere near bothered. But some players, it would bother them, because you look at Sergio Aguero, how he's not gotten Team of the Year over many years. It's a strange one for me, being one of the best strikers.
Oh, what a
You
save.
do worry. So sometimes when you're playing, just try and be nice to all the players you're playing against.
Oh, it's another big save. There's so many big saves, Clinton,
Remember
on the
me in
Football
April.
Social so far. Will, talk us through the latest save we've just seen.
Yeah, your best mate again in Neil Maupay down the right-hand side. He's in the 6-yard box, and then Ramsdale's done the old Schmeichel-esque, made himself massive like a big starfish, got a right hand to it, palmed it away, and Maupay couldn't get it there on the rebound. Bournemouth living life on the edge.
Breaking news to bring you. It's bad and good news. There is a substitution, first ever live substitution to bring you on the Football Social. Replacing Clinton Morrison.
I'm not being subbed. I'm not coming off. Because I refuse to get subbed.
Other duties at Sky Sports as well. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Well done. And there's been a goal. The substitution. Moise Keane has scored.
Can you believe it? Substitution.
Substitution. Clinton Morrison.
I can't even react to it because I didn't see it.
There we go.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Clinton. Substitution in. Dave Jackson from Arsenal, everyone. There's been a goal. Dave, talk us through it, Will Fraser.
Yes, long ball up. It's a lovely flick on by Theo Walcott. Then Bernard with the ball over the top. Moise Keane in on goal.
That is what Dave Jackson brings. Energy. Clinton Morrison, by the way. Clinton Morrison. One of my favourite guests. Will be back. He will be back very soon. Love you, Clinton, and we'll be back very soon on the Football Social. Dave, you will be looking ahead to our main feature game. Kicks off at 8:15. Arsenal against Chelsea. How much are you looking forward to that?
I cannot wait. This is our march to top 4 football and return to Champions League football. We beat Chelsea today. It will be 7 points. That will be nothing between now and the end of the season.
Villa are in! Sorry, Dave! Breaking down the left-hand side.
Okay, let's bring you the team news. Frank Lampard makes 2 changes while you relax from Chelsea's defeat at Newcastle on Sunday. Emerson and Kovacic replace Reece James and Mason Mount. Cesar Azpilicueta makes his 250th Premier League start for Chelsea, becoming only the 7th player to do so. So this is the Chelsea lineup. Kepa, flat back 4 of Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Emerson. Midfield 3 of Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, and a front 3 of Callum Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham and Willian. Dave Jackson, this is your beloved Arsenal team that will do battle at Stamford Bridge tonight.
Hector Bellerin back.
One change from Arsenal's home defeat against Sheffield United. Hector Bellerin returns in place of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So this is the starting lineup. Bellerin, Mustafi, David Luiz and Saka sit just in front of Bernd Leno. 4-2-3-1 it looks like, with Torreira and Xhaka, and then Pepe, Ozil and Martinelli in behind Lacazette. Of course, Aubameyang still suspended. So Dave, initial reactions on that starting lineup?
I think obviously if Aubameyang's not suspended, that's arguably our first 11. So I think Saka's been absolutely tremendous this season. I think he's arguably been our player of the season. That's mental to say that about an 18-year-old kid who's played in about 5 different positions.
Player of the season?
Arguably.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but I think either him or like Leno have definitely been our most consistent players. He's been fantastic. But
Was he?
I've been extremely impressed with Martinelli as well, though. He is a real
The ball in the back of the net. They've got the kick off his City game as well. He's kicking off the Man City game. James Wayne, pay attention. We'll come to you very shortly. But first up, big chance for Bournemouth. What happened, Will?
Yeah, ball breaking down the right-hand side, and then it comes all the way to the left. Then it's Rico with a low-foot rasping effort, but it's hit the side netting. One of them ones when you think, if you're on the wrong side, but it wasn't. It just hit the side
There will be someone in that stadium cheering as if it's hit the inside of the net. It hasn't hit the side
like,
net. I'm not a Bournemouth fan, but James Wayne, big chance at Man City. What happened?
It's a bit of argy-bargy, to be fair. I think Laporte's kicking off, everyone's kicking off. It's all calmed down now, but something happened in the goalmouth, City's goalmouth, after a corner. Laporte not happy at all. It's all been separated and calmed down now, but yeah, a bit feisty.
In all honesty, as a neutral, the Sheffield United player had every right to challenge for that ball there.
Okay.
Soft from City.
Nothing actually.
Another chance for Bournemouth! Bournemouth need one of these to go, and it's Harry Wilson. Another head-in-the-hand moment for Bournemouth.
Yeah, Harry Wilson. It was a lovely work corner straight off the training ground, and it come to Harry Wilson on his left in the edge of the area, and he shot it, and it's I think it was Dale Stevens on the line throwing his body there, and it's gone out for a corner, and Bournemouth are back at it again with a corner. It's damn Daniel.
Unless Bournemouth get all 3 points today, they are going to be relegated.
Bournemouth are relegated for you if they don't win, Dave Jackson. That's what Dave Jackson does. He's only been on the Football Social 1 minute, but he's not afraid to make a prediction.
Hot take, yeah.
Dave, did you enjoy the first
I was
part of the Football Social with
Clinton
Clinton?
Morrison. We should definitely get him back on next week.
Southampton are in!
Another chance for Hampton here, to be fair.
So, Dave, just to reiterate, you will be watching the Southampton, the Crystal Palace game
for about the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, until the Arsenal game kicks off. So you will be our expert on all things Palace and Southampton until Arsenal kick off, all right?
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Southampton. It's a very difficult place to go, is Selhurst Park. So
Amazing atmosphere. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go on,
Man
James!
City, James Wayne.
What's happening?
Wayne, Man City through and goal.
Go on, Riyadh.
Lovely feet. Go on.
He's got a penalty!
Penalty for Man City. The referee pointed to the spot, which is what referees do when it's a penalty.
He's just blown a kick.
Was it a penalty for you, James? Honest opinion.
I mean, by the looks of things, it looks a bit light, to be fair. Mahrez cutting in everyone in the
Here we go. Here's a replay.
Absolutely, was it 1, 2, little nutmeg?
That's a penalty.
That's a penalty.
It was the first one. It is the second
Too
one.
strong in that.
Obviously, VAR will look at it as they do with all the penalties, but I think I'd be amazed if they overturn that.
And yet, Pepe got nothing.
You're not over that yet, are you?
Justice for Pepe.
Get the T-shirts printed now.
One of them ones.
Wholesale.
Just having confirmation, VAR check. It will be a penalty for Manchester City.
Jesus.
See, this is what...
Let's go to stay with James Wayne. Keep an eye on the other games, Will.
Yep, got you, mate.
A couple of chances going in those games. We'll come to Will very shortly. Gabriel Jesus, last 5 penalties, 3 have scored. James Wayne, talk us through this one. Wayno!
Oh, took him out of fantasy.
Oh, it is a poor penalty. And I've just got to say, is this one of these nights under the lights at Bramall Lane? We've seen Dean Henderson make 3 outstanding saves, 1 from the penalty spot. Do we get the feeling this is one of these nights to Sheffield United? Man City.
He's off his line there.
Have had a few chances. And they've had a penalty save. We've just looked at the replay there. Dean Henderson is off his line at the moment that he saves it.
Is it Leeds?
What happens to this line?
Rubbish. Rubbish.
Play on!
What's the point of VAR?
Dave, what do you think of that? We will come back to Dave in a minute, point of the pen, but there is a ball in the back of the net at Dean Court, the Vitality Stadium, Will.
Yes, the clouds have been lifted. It's normally sunshine on the south coast, and it's back, baby. Harry Wilson had one off the line, but his left-footed effort has finally hit the back of the net. Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0, and Dave, our accumulator, is looking absolutely shocking.
It's a massive goal for Bournemouth. It's a bad goal for the accumulator, Dave. I want to get your thoughts on the penalty. Firstly, Dean Henderson. What a game Dean Henderson is having.
Fantastic.
VAR does not look at goalkeepers off the line. That is down to the referee's assistant.
What they did at Man City, didn't it?
For you, we'll get into that in a minute. For you,
the penalty has to be retaken.
Fantastic
save, but he was probably about this much off his line before the ball was struck. Ridiculous. Take it again.
Take it again, penalty. Wayno, do you feel like this is one of those nights for Man City? You've had 2 big chances. Dean Henderson, what a performance he's having. We know that Sheffield United have done things to big teams in the past. Are you slightly worried how this game is unfolding?
Yeah, of course. Like, Sheffield United have been good, and we've been known to slip up to teams you'd expect us to beat. Dean Henderson, as you said, been fantastic so far. I'm not going to comment about VAR because I've just been moaning about it all season. So VAR for me is a no-go talking point. But yeah, you can definitely see it. They've been at us.
Corner for Sheffield United.
As much as we've been at them, they've been at us, and we've looked to be attacking on the break more than they have, to be fair.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
What's the point of the lines? What's the point of the lines of like the lines?
It wasn't just that. There was about 4 people encroaching as well. It should have been taken again on 2 accounts.
What happened? You know, in the Wolves Man City game over Christmas. What was that? That was retaken, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was encroachment.
Arsenal had a pen retaken as well, like Aubameyang.
Encroachment is VAR. Goalkeepers off the line is not VAR.
But surely they're the same.
You were saying they were encroaching as well, what you do?
Yeah, they were encroaching.
I think it's like England #1.
Anyway, whatever we think of it, it will not be retaken. The penalty's been saved. Great pictures there, by the way. Pep Guardiola is kneeling down. We just saw fantastic. Confirmation the goal scorer is Troy Deeney.
He has done it again. If you read the stat pack, like I said, he scored 5 goals against Aston Villa in his last 3 appearances. Ball down to the byline. Deeney stretching, rising like a salmon, and he scored against Villa as a Birmingham City fan at the Holt End. Will it be ruled out for VAR? Don't want to look too stupid, but it doesn't like it.
Good header, Troy Deeney. Delafeu down the right. That is Troy Deeney.
Love it.
Bullet header. And it is Watford who lead at Villa Park by 1 goal. Still a few injuries as well. A few players that were down. Any serious ones? Neil Maupay was limping a bit there. Looks like he's going to be okay to carry on.
No, I think that's just one of them impact injuries.
Interesting celebration from Troy Deeney. Can you replicate that down camera 3?
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
That is exactly what I've got to say, actually. That is exactly what he did. Yeah, there we go. There's a tighter close up. Can we zoom in anymore just to get the...
No, my eyes are really small.
There we go.
There's a quick question for the room. Do you think the Sheffield...
Oh, hang on!
What's that?
Go on.
You know the old David De Gea, Virgil van Dijk debate that will run on for the ends of time? There was one of those. Matty Ryan's come out and not got the ball, and Bournemouth have played on here, and they are still... it's gone out of play now, but Matty Ryan will be livid. There'll be some Aussie fury in the referee's face.
OK, we are moments away from kick-off in our 6th game. It is Chelsea against Arsenal, 8:15 kick-off. Dave Jackson will be reacting to it, so we can give you some price boost. Are you ready? All of our friends at Sky Bet. Here we go. Lacazette and Abraham both to score was 4-1. You can get 5-1 on that now. Abraham to score a header was 7-1. That is now 9-1. Pepe to score from outside the penalty area is 12-1. You can get 16-1 on that. Martinelli to score was 7-2. Dave Jackson singing his praises earlier. That is now 5-1. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. All odds are live and subject to change. Please gamble responsibly. Dave, like the look at some of those price boosts?
I like the look at the Martinelli at 5-1.
You're a big fan of Martinelli.
He's fantastic. I don't think about Arsenal in about 3 years.
Where do you think he'll be?
Maybe at Real Madrid or something.
That good? In 3 years he could be at Real Madrid?
3 to 5 years.
Goal!
Oh my goodness me, what a turnaround. People said Eddie Howe should be sacked. How's he turning it around?
Hey.
It's a goal from a corner. I think it might be an own goal. It's been bundled into the back of the net. Callum Wilson's doing one of them sort of cheeky smirks where he knows he hasn't
He's
scored,
a bit
but
awkward, isn't
he's
he?
trying to claim it. But it looks like it's going to be Bournemouth 2, Brighton 0.
Not good
Wow,
for my
that'd be a
prediction as well, guys.
huge win, Bournemouth fans. They need this victory. They're currently 2-0 up with 14 minutes on the clock. And Doogie went for a Brighton win.
Yeah, I know. Shocker. Sorry, lads. Ruined it.
I know you.
Oh, it might be Callum Wilson.
Guys, I've got a question. I've been leaving big man Tanizzi hanging for a while, but he wants to know, Maddison or Grealish to the Euros, or both?
It's a debate that has been rumbling on social. Dave Jackson, where do you stand on that?
I would take Maddison over Grealish.
If I put Dele Alli in the mix as well.
Definitely Dele Alli should go to the Euros.
Grealish, you're not so sure?
I think we've got to see what he does his next couple of friendlies. So we've got 4 friendlies before the tournament starts,
Yeah.
or before Gareth picks his
Italy,
squad.
Denmark, and
4 games.
Yeah, so I think I need to see what he can do in that playing at that high level, really.
Yeah.
But
Just on Bournemouth, I think the goal's going to go down to Callum Wilson, and that's the first goal a Bournemouth striker has scored since October.
He has been reading the stat pack. That is
No, I
what
nicked
we'll-
that from Jeff Stelling, actually, when
Oh,
we were
did you?
upstairs.
Okay. There we go. He did sit. He was
Good
sitting
honesty
very
there.
close to Jeff Stelling for long parts of the day
Yeah.
to get these
Just taking
stats. He
it
is
in.
a
Well, he's a god of this
fountain
sort
of knowledge, yeah,
especially this sort of
and a great
environment.
guy as well.
What a bloke, what a man.
So there we go. Big win
Aaron
on the
Moy on the
cards
edge
for
of the area.
Bournemouth, but we do know that they have conceded a lot of goals, so that game is not over yet. And actually, as we speak, Brighton have got a half chance, and it's blazed over the bar. We haven't gone to the Sheffield United Man City game. Every time I glance at it, there seems to be an incident, a yellow card, someone injured, a chance.
It's a very
There's a lot going on in that game, Wayne. What's the latest?
I mean, it's just a case of we're inviting pressure, and the Sheffield United players are really just going for it. I mean, that tackle we just saw, definite yellow, no complaint. Well, there have been complaints, but there shouldn't be.
that's a nasty tackle.
Is that likely to be a
Birmingham-esque.
I mean, seeing it slow-mo, I think it seems worse. You can see them giving red cards, but in actual speed, it looked all right. Fernandinho's got up, but yes, feisty game. Not really much in the way of quality, unfortunately. A lot of our possession seems to be, stamped out quite quickly.
There we go. Doogie, let's go back to social corner. Just remind the viewers how they can get in touch, getting some good questions. Want to keep them
Yes,
coming?
get your comments in the streams for both Soccer AM and Football Daily, and I'll get the best of the questions asked to our lovely panellists. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe, even got there in the end, to Football Daily and Soccer AM. But next question comes in from Angry Fishface, who wants to know how far... God, I'm really messing this up. How far can Lampard take Chelsea this year? Could they finish higher than 4th? Does it look like 4th nailed on? How do you think they'll do in the Champions League if they get in there next year? That's what Angry Fishface wants to know.
I think 4th is good.
Yeah.
I don't see him getting any higher, but it would still be an achievement to get 4th, considering the situation he was kind of lumped into. I can see him doing very well. He seems to get the best out of players you wouldn't expect, and with transfer windows, you could see him doing better. Getting into those Champions League places and performing well. So, yeah, I can see him doing very well at Chelsea.
Sorry, dude. I've just got into score correction. Bournemouth strikers still haven't scored. Jeff's stat remains intact. It was a Pascal Gross.
Sorry, it does remain 2-0.
Sorry.
It does remain
Little
2-0.
stat on Lampard.
Yo! Thank you, Phil Chorley, in my ear. You won't see it on the screen. Middlesbrough 0, Birmingham 1. Right on till the end.
You got me all excited.
You got us all excited as well.
It's a Sky Bet Championship.
Stat on Lampard, he's already lost the same amount of league games as Sarri
Yes,
did in the
saw
entirety of
that.
last year. So maybe Sarri was a bit harshly treated, some would say.
Maybe. But, I mean...
Debate for another time.
Yeah, you can't put that on Lampard. Sarri's a very experienced manager, so...
True.
He won a trophy and got them to another final and got them Champions League football. It was stupid that he was treated the way he was. Ridiculous.
Shouldn't have been
Absolutely
sacked for you.
ridiculous. The way he was treated was ridiculous. But,
Ridiculous.
Some of the fans, I know, it was, even on Twitter, some of the fans were talking about the way that he played football.
There's one particular person with really big hair that was talking about it. That he just found the clip when they were they were already 4-1 up, weren't they? So come on, like Mr. Hamill. Shut up.
Oh, I thought you meant Zach Lam.
Nah, Hamill.
Oh, I didn't know that was Hamill.
Yeah, it's Hamill giving it that anyway.
There we go.
Right, we're on the way, Smith.
Right,
the
the
big
game
one.
was kicked off at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea, Arsenal, remind us what happened in this reverse fixture, please, Dave, this year?
We played fantastic for 70 minutes
but
and
what
then
happened?
got done by 2 very cheap goals and lost the game.
There we go. Thank you.
Improvements have been made. That's all I've got.
All you've got to say on the matter. While we've got a bit of breathing space, Mikel Arteta.
Massive.
Thoughts on him? We heard Clinton Morrison.
Wouldn't have been the right move for him to be the immediate person to replace Wenger. Yeah, the fact that we've got him now and he's our next year under Pep, I think it's a fantastic appointment. And I've seen so many improvements already. It's still a long way to go. But I am seeing a lot of improvements already, so I'm a very happy boy at the moment.
Happy boy, Dave Jackson. A happy boy is good for the football social, but also, if Chelsea do score, it will give us some interesting moments as well.
Sad Dave's good as well.
Sad Dave is
Angry
good as
Dave.
well.
There's only ever one sad Dave, wasn't there?
Yeah, just talk about your record quickly, football social.
I've seen Arsenal on the football social must be about 40 times or something now, and I've only seen them lose once. But we're on the attack! Go on, Martinelli
First chance for
to
Arsenal.
Saka! Oh, that's good. Positive play there. That's what we never saw under Unai.
You never saw
There
Arsenal
was
play the
zero
ball over the bar under Unai Emery.
Misplaced cross.
Half time.
Half time.
Right, our first half times are coming in.
Yeah, down to the
Dave
vitality.
Jackson, remind us what is going on in the games.
Dave Jackson.
Sorry, Will Fraser.
Dave, I'll let you know now. Vitality, it is 2-0 to Bournemouth. Brighton started superbly, but Ramsdale made some great saves, kept them in the game, and ultimately that's why they lead 2-0 at half-time. It's half-time at Goodison Park. Moyes Keane with his first goal for Everton, which Doogie told me in my left plug hole. And at Villa Park, they're going into the break 1-0 down, thanks to a goal from Troy Deeney, who does, of course, support Birmingham City.
You
but that's got nothing to do with it.
Many occasions. They are the scenes. We can bring the live scenes there. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 0. This could be a huge victory for Bournemouth. And of course, we're giving you live scenes at Goodison Park as well. It's currently Everton 1, Newcastle 0. I believe I did put Everton to win that. But Adam, the game hasn't finished. It still could go the other way. I am just saying. That game is going with the predictor as things stand.
Feel free to have more conversations with this. I really enjoyed it.
It was very random, wasn't it? I've got an iPad and a computer. There's so many gadgets at the minute. Around me, 'cause there's no internet.
Give him your phone. Give him your phone.
Arsenal game hasn't started, Dave. This is the point that usually where Dave gets quieter and quieter as he gets more nervous.
David, the man Mountain Louise, mate, just bossing everything.
New man under Arteta, to be fair.
He's good. He's a good player.
Bringing the ball out of defence. I also think Ainsley Maitland-Niles looked really good under Arteta so far, coming into midfield, making it more of a 3, letting Saka bomb forward down the left-hand side. So I think I'm kind of with Dave. I think the things are looking quite good for Arsenal. Obviously, it hasn't led to a massive turnaround in results so far, but you've been pretty unfortunate. Down to 10 men in some, games against Chelsea and United. I think there's a lot of reasons to be positive, but results not come just yet.
I think our problem the whole season has just been too many draws. It's been too many draws.
Another half-time whistle has gone at Villa Park. It is Aston Villa 0, Watford 1, thanks to that bullet of a header from Watford captain Troy Deeney. And we saw him celebrate that.
Come on.
Very, very animated in the celebration, so that is another big win, another big game. That is at the bottom of the table for both teams. Currently going the way of the away team.
Fisticuffs down here, Smith.
What's going on there?
Wilfried Zaha.
Wilfried Zaha does not look happy, does he?
Yeah, him and Ward-Prowse having a little set too, and then...
These are the half-time scenes. The whistle has just gone. Just to remind you, it is Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 1. Zaha is not happy at all. Him and James Ward-Prowse.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say, exactly that. They've been separated by a lot of players. Even Danny Ings was a substitute getting involved to try and separate them. And it's still going on. We don't know what's happened here.
One to keep an eye on the second half, for sure.
Is very, very animated. We'll keep an eye on this in the second half. It is 1-0, thanks to that effort from goal scorer there on screen, Nathan Redmond. Cenk Tosun missing a chance just minutes earlier for Palace. It's still going on.
This is the incident. Looks like he nearly pokes him in the eye.
You VAR that?
That is petulant.
So we did see there's an incident there.
Already gone. I don't know how it works on VAR.
There was an incident there between Ward-Prowse and
they're VARing it. They're VARing it.
And they are VARing. So just to confirm, the half-time whistle has gone. The half-time whistle has gone, but they're looking at VAR. Hand to the face of James Ward-Prowse. And the action has been taken. VAR, Stockley Park have looked at it and no red card. Guys, what do we make of this decision? Because it's still going on. We're looking at live scenes at the tunnel.
Can you poke someone in the eye and not get sent off?
I don't think he did poke him in the eye, but...
It was pretty close to the eye.
I mean, you're pretty... I don't know.
Well, you're the
he's
first
got
person to see that. What is your take on that? Should that have been sent off? Should it not? What do you make of it?
I mean, maybe a letter of the law should have been sent off. I wouldn't want to see it. I mean, it's stupid from Zaha.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to get targeted at every game. He knows he's going to get like fouls against him. People are going to wind him up. He just needs to. If he wants this big move, like Clinton was talking about to Arthur, he just needs to keep his head down. He's such a talent, and he can't be getting wound up by Ward-Prowse at half-time for any reason at all.
OK, well said, Will Brazier. Keep his nut down is what he said. Right, OK, let's have a reminder of how our group bet is going. Let's see who has predicted football well. I went for Everton. I went for a home win. That is currently still going to plan. Only one goal in it. Clinton went Crystal Palace win. He's just disappeared. And it's currently Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 1, so that's not going our way. Will did call a Watford win. That is currently going to plan 1-0. Dave, still alive with his prediction, but we're only minutes into that game. Don't forget, that was the 8:15 kickoff. All the others kicked off at 7:30. James Wayne still in with that one. Yep. Away win. 0-0 on that. And Doogie, I feel, letting the team down more than anyone.
Yeah, me and Clinton, sorry, lads.
Away 8-1 on that. Don't forget, full terms and conditions apply. You must be 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly. Doogie, let's go to you in social corner.
So I've got lots of questions coming in on my phone. I'm not just being rude. James LYT has asked, this is to James, I think, what have you made of Laporte's performance in the first half? Has he looked a bit rusty? Obviously, he had that little interchange in the goal mouth. How's he played?
Yeah, I mean, hasn't been vintage Laporte. We've seen a few mistakes, so but you can't expect him to come back from an injury that long and expect to be where he was before. Can't say I'm impressed, but I haven't been disappointed. Let's say. I mean he's been good, but no better than good.
Nice. And another topical one from that game. Todd Bell has asked, surely Dean Henderson should be starting for England at the Euros. Do you think that's premature, guys?
It's not a bad question because it's worth talking about it. Dave, I don't know if you've been seeing much of Sheffield United, but
the best of seasons, who is our current number one. You've got to argue, kind of man for man, Henderson is a better keeper and he's having a much better season. Yeah. And he was also a little bit younger.
He played in the under-21s. A little bit taller. Yeah, he played in the under-21s in the summer
as well. Yeah.
Was the first choice keeper for England.
The goalkeeper.
This guy loves height.
There we go.
Mustafi has a little injury.
Go on, talk us through. We haven't actually come to you about the game yet, Dave. How has it started? And is it a serious injury?
There was half a chance for Chelsea. The ball was worked quite well, but Mustafi has put everything on the line there, including the midsection of his body, to block the ball. So very brave challenge. But yeah, very open already. So good game so far.
Good game. Would you take a point, Dave? This fixture?
We have to win.
You have to win?
We have to win.
Because the league table, or...?
Yeah. It's
simple as that, yeah.
I think the thing is, if we weren't so... Like, if the teams around us if they didn't keep dropping the points, and we could just concentrate on ourselves, that'd be fine. But because they are, there's always that bit of hope, right? So like, you know, I kind of want us to...
It's the hope...
Granit Xhaka.
Good defending, OK. First corner of the game is this for Chelsea?
For Chelsea, no, they've had a corner as well.
Corner, worrying signs.
Jacko, Edmin Moane wants to ask,
great name.
What have you made of Ceballos so far? Obviously, he's out injured at the moment. Do you think he's got a future instead of Ozil in this side going forward next season?
No, because he's only on loan for one season. I can't see us splashing that cash.
Yeah.
I think he's looked all right. Oh, what's happened there? He's an Arsenal player down. Yeah. Send him off.
Incident in the Chelsea-Arsenal game. Yeah, Arsenal player down, holding his face. Looks like Torreira. Dave, what's going on?
I wasn't sure.
Here's the replay. Talk us through it.
Shoulder.
Yes. Oh no, it's a bit of a push up from Azpilicueta. I've seen he's given. He's given.
You're very biased.
He just kind of touched him really, but Torreira's gone down. I don't even think the referee will even be looking at it, to be honest. But Dani Ceballos, I can't see him being here this time next year. I don't think he's done much wrong. You'd like to think that when he's fully fit, Arteta's going to have a proper good look at him. And he's quite young, so he's clearly one that could come in and fill that void. So, you know, never say never, but from what he's shown so far, you can't see him being that long-term Ozil replacement, and that is a very good chance for Chelsea. Ball whipped in. Christensen, he should at least hit the target there. I don't know if it was quite a free header, but
corner for Chelsea.
It was definitely a free header.
Oh, he should score.
Oh, it's a big chance.
Really
massive chance for Chelsea. Not quite sure Arsenal's defence is there.
All the time in the world there.
Bellerin, come on, mate, you have to be a bit stronger than that and a bit more switched on.
A couple more comments. Don Hutchinson's calling us the Brexit gang. Not quite sure why. Matthias Probukska is saying, do you think, what do Man City need to do over the summer to get back to winning ways, title-winning ways, I should say?
It's hard. I mean, we have got the personnel, we have got the manager to win the league, so not too much, really. I think try and find a player that we can securely have for a whole season at left-back. I think it's a position that's just thrown up in the air so much. We've had Mendy, Zinchenko. I mean, Delph last season. We brought back Angelino and don't really seem to be playing him. Obviously, we've only got him in backup. But, yeah, I mean, you can say whoever you want, but as we've seen this season, you could have potentially the best squad in the league, but one injury here, one injury there that you're not expecting can really derail the season. So you'd maybe just say like a decent centre-back, ball-playing centre-back to maybe edge out John Stones. I mean, he hasn't had the best of seasons so far, but I want the partnership to be Laporte and Stones, and probably a left-back just to have a secure. Unless Mendy could push on, that's the thing. So I don't know. I don't think we need anyone.
So as if Sane leaves permanently, then you might look to bring in someone there.
Yeah, obviously if there's exits, you're going to bring in decent replacements. But yeah,
that forward line's pretty complete,
Yeah.
and your goals per game ratio suggests you don't really need that much change in forward areas. But centre back and left back's probably not a bad place to start.
Okay, just a reminder that it is a bit quiet right now because only one game currently playing. That is Chelsea-Arsenal. The rest, the other 5 games, all at the half-time stage because they were the 7:30 kickoffs. Will just remind us of the scores on the doors in the other matches.
Yes, Aston Villa in a bottom basement clash. It's Aston Villa 0, Watford 1. Troy Deeney with the goal there. After a strong start from Brighton, they're losing 2-0 at the Vitality Stadium. Goals from Harry Wilson and an own goal from Pascal Gross. Strong start by Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Cech Tosin had an absolute sitter which he blazed over, and Redmond scored an absolute screamer, didn't he, Smith? That was one of the goals of the season. 1-0 to Southampton. And Everton versus Newcastle. Moise Keane with his first goal for Everton. Fantastic celebrations, great scenes for him, and it's 1-0 to them at half-time.
Yeah, big goal for Moise Keane. And it will be a big win there. Just looking at replays of that own goal at the Vitality Stadium. You can see Callum Wilson smiling. They need that victory. But that's not over that game yet, Will, because Bournemouth have been leaky at the back this season, haven't they?
Yeah,
so,
and the first 20 minutes of that game absolutely replicated that to the fore as well. I mean, Ramsdale made an absolutely unbelievable save. It was Kasper, Peter, whichever Schmeichel you want-esque. Made himself like a starfish, kept the ball out with a very, very strong right hand. But that kept it 0-0 and Bournemouth cracked on.
Yeah, going well so far for Bournemouth. Stats don't look good for them. They're winless in their last 5 Premier League home games, drawing just 1 of them, losing 4. Bournemouth picked up just 4 points from their last 36 available in the Premier League. So it's not going great. Bournemouth averaging, incidentally, just 10 shots per game at home in the Premier League this season. Since Opta Stats began, only Reading have ever averaged fewer at home in a single Premier League campaign. But they are 2-0 to the good. So we'll keep an eye on that. And also, just saying, a lot of replays of this Zaha Ward-Prowse incident. I say Zaha Ward-Prowse, half the teams ended up getting goals. VAR not announcing a red card or changing anything. Do you expect to keep an eye on that one, Will? Do you think that might bubble over into the second half?
Well, yeah, it just comes back to the chat we were just having before, wasn't it? I mean, there's no need for Wilfried Zaha to do that, whether it's a yellow, whether it's a red, whatever's gone on there.
What do you think's gone on before that for him to do that?
I didn't see anything that was... I mean, you don't go to poke someone in the eye regardless of what they've done, like have an argument, I don't know, but don't go to poke them in the eye because you are at a jeopardy of not only getting sent off, but Crystal Palace being down to 10 men in an absolutely crucial game for them.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep an eye on how that one develops, of course. And big goal for Deeney. Saving the Arsenal game. Bernd Leno has the ball in his hands, Dave.
Massive chance for Tammy Abraham there. I reckon he should score as well. It was quite a well-worked chance for Chelsea. Ball's gone from left to right and then back in. And, David Luiz again, he can't let an attacker have that much chance, that much time.
Space, yeah.
Yeah, in the area. But
Martinelli, Arsenal. Oh.
Nice skill from Hudson-Odoi to get the ball over.
Early in the Sheffield United game, don't know, he looks a bit ill. Just leant over, hands on his knees. Henderson, on the far end.
That'd be worrying.
Chance for Chelsea.
Yeah, especially on the first half he's had.
Close him down.
Oh. Ball whipped in for Chelsea. Oh. The danger is cleared by Bellerin, who has got the captain's armband on today, Dave. And it goes behind for another Chelsea corner, my friend.
Yes, it's all right. As long as they're not scoring them, it's all right, isn't it? You know.
Interesting there, Dave. Hector Bellerin with the armband.
Captain,
Who would you like to see
Who
with
was
the
Dave
armband?
Jackson, permanent Arsenal captain?
Who would you
Everyone's fit. Everyone's
Jack
available.
Wilshere back in that
You're
role.
the manager.
He wants
Who'd you
someone
give the
else.
armband?
He wants somebody
if
else.
everyone's fit, yeah.
If everyone's fit, who do you want, Dave? Who
Very
you
good
said
question.
before?
There's maybe a young defender who I think could be a future Arsenal captain. His name's Rob Holding.
Yeah, we know you're a big fan of Rob
He's
Holding.
there for the next 10 years, you know, build that defence around him.
Just like when Fergie said Phil Jones could be an England captain.
Well, are you comparing me to Alex Ferguson? I'll take it, mate.
Your leadership qualities.
Oh! Chance of Chelsea again. It seems to be all Chelsea. And he's punched over the bar by Bernd Leno with an effort from Callum Hudson-Odoi, who is running around to take yet another Chelsea corner, Dave.
I'm not sold on Hector Bellerin, you know.
You're not?
I reckon he's one more injury away from that's basically the end of his career. He's
Look at
taken.
this replay as well. Just seeing if Leno got fingertips to it. Don't think
he didn't. That should be a goal kick.
the
I think
bar,
it clipped the crossbar.
Away.
It is a goal kick, which Dave is applauding. He didn't actually see clearly for that replay, but you agree it was a goal
Definitely
kick.
a
With
goal
your Arsenal
kick.
hound.
Yes, it was. Come on. The referee's done a stellar job there, mate.
It's nice to see Hudson-Odoi come into a bit of form as well, because obviously he had that long-term injury, then he came back and started quite well, then went through a bit of a dry patch, and Chelsea fans were, I thought, unfairly getting on his back.
He's so young.
But he's played really well in the last
player
few
that age
matches.
is ridiculous.
So, yeah, lay off him, Chelsea fans, I think.
Interesting stats to bring you from the Chelsea-Arsenal game. Chelsea looking to complete the Premier League double over Arsenal for the 5th time. Only Liverpool and Man United have done this against the Gunners on as many as 5 occasions. Arsenal winless in their last 7 Premier League away games against Chelsea. However, no team has won more Premier League away games at Stamford Bridge than the Gunners. So, which suggests that we're in for an exciting game, Dave.
Oh, it's
either
exciting,
way.
baby.
Do you remember that last win? Was that a 5-3, Jacko?
Yeah, when Van Persie scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
I remember that.
What a
also
game.
got one. And Andros Santos.
Yeah.
Yeah, who remembers that? Like it was yesterday.
What a
I
waste of
remember
space he was.
Arsenal winning just one of the last 10 away Premier League games, though, Dave.
Was that, mate? Sorry?
Arsenal winning just one of the last 10 away Premier League games.
Yeah, it's not great. But I'll be honest, there's a few like draws in there. If we had a few more wins in there, we'd be set. And also, if there was no VAR, apparently we'd be 7th for the moment instead of 10th.
What a season that would be for Arsenal, yeah.
So
All would be well if Arsenal was 7th, eh, Dave?
well, it'd be a lot better than 10th, wouldn't it?
Teams are back out, Dave. Any games kicked off? I'm presuming that wasn't just for the teams out. Something actually happened in the game.
Teams are out! No, Everton going strong straight away, and I think it was Calvert-Lewin with a near-post effort which Dubravka saved, but a strong start again by Everton in the Ancelotti revolution. Corner for Bournemouth, could they make it 3? Cleared away by Webster.
OK, so all the games back underway, and notice that the cameras are focused on 2 men at Selhurst Park, James Ward-Prowse and Wilfried Zaha. Any updates to bring us from that?
No.
Zaha still doesn't look happy, does he, Wilfried Zaha?
They were zooming in on the tunnel in Crystal Palace, and there were some strong words said with one another of the Crystal Palace team, but I don't know if that was linked.
And if there's one tunnel you don't want to be in a conflict with, it is Selhurst Park. It's a very narrow tunnel.
Very narrow.
Very narrow tunnel.
The insight that we give you on that, there's a very narrow tunnel.
But if I was Hasenhuttl, just putting my manager's hat on for a second here, I'd say get into Wolves Zaha first 10-15 minutes, put a challenge in, see what his anger levels are like after that half time, because he did look ready to blow going down that tunnel. So see if you can wind him up, get a red card, could prove crucial on their search for this victory.
Another goal from Will Grazer. What happened, mate?
Yeah, Wilfried Zaha involved already. He's not been wound up, which Doogie would like to see there. But Coyote with the ball, I think it was Zaha with the ball at the back post, and Tosin with the headed effort, which I personally think he should have done a lot better with. But who am I? I'm just a mere mortal.
Nice.
There we go.
We've got a question in from Phantom Gamer.
Okay.
They've asked Jacko, what areas do Arsenal need to focus on in the summer? I asked this to James earlier. I want to hear for Arsenal. Who do you need to sign?
I think probably the defence. I think we need a new right back. I think I'm not as concerned about the centre half because we've got that young French kid who's on loan at Saint Etienne. I think we need a long-term replacement for Ozil. I think we need an honest conversation with Aubameyang and Lacazette. If they are going to sign new deals, then obviously we're all right.
We'll find that very amusing.
Honest conversation.
No, it's true. I just was mentally picturing an honest
A nice conversation. If they're not going to sign new deals, then obviously we need to replace our forward line.
And he's getting old as well, isn't he, Aubameyang?
Yeah, he's still top drawer, isn't he? So, but he never ever gets injured. I don't want to just jinx him, but I don't think he's had a injury since he's been
You could still cash in on him next year, couldn't you, for like fairly big money?
I guess we could probably still get at least 50 million for him. Yeah. I would say, but I'd prefer to try and keep him. But yeah, so for me, the area would definitely be a new right back, and probably a long-term replacement for Mesut Ozil.
Nice.
There you go, mate. Was that nice?
That was lovely. Yeah, there's quite a few calling you Dave Rob Holding Jackson.
I'll take it.
Dave Rob Holding Jackson.
You look like him as well, actually.
Oh no, not another one. Christian Eriksen, you always get.
Delafeu.
Did you get Delafeu?
Yeah, I did when I was on VFN, but they canned that because I'm too old.
Smithy.
Corner for Man City!
Oh, don't get...
Yes, Doogie, go on.
We haven't had any questions directed at you, but Daniel Alvarez says, what do you make about the current striker situation at Spurs? Do you think this is the time to strike?
I mean, don't say out.
Goal! Another screamer! A Bobby Dazzler, if you will! Stuart Armstrong, he hardly knew ye! What a hit from the Scottish lad! Born in Celtic, but my God, it's been made at Selhurst Park tonight. It has entered the area about 30 yards out, and he's hit it. It stayed hit, and Crystal Palace only score screamers on Tuesday night in West London. Wow. 2-0. Southampton. Sorry.
I was about to say that was my favourite ever goal from you.
2-0 Southampton. Stuart Armstrong.
Oh, it's another good goal.
Beauty.
Oh, great goal. Big goal for Southampton at Selhurst Park. Well done, Will Brazier. Good analysis there, my friend. Chance for Chelsea. Oh, Dave Jackson, you're looking worried. Is it all Chelsea so far?
It's not. That all comes from Arsenal giving the ball away very cheaply. Hector Bellerin again, he is not match fit at all.
Why is he playing?
I don't understand. Maybe he wants to give Maitland-Niles a bit of a rest. But come on,
I've said it many times before, Dave. It's another corner for Chelsea.
They can have as many corners as they want, mate.
You nearly regret it.
Everton in it!
Oh!
Bernard!
He's got a snood on. Look at the state of him.
Lovely ball through there, and he was one-on-one with Dubravka, and he was onside as well.
He got down.
That's not a free kick, is it?
Yeah,
should have got a little dive there.
It's a free kick. Ref's giving it. It's a free kick.
Did you get any clarification why the Man City penalty wasn't retaken? I still don't understand why it wasn't retaken.
Explain why it's not retaken. VAR
doesn't
don't
affect
look at off the line. It looks at encroachment.
So
it's down to the referee's assistant to spot that. The referee's assistant has deemed that
it, then it's all...
He may have spotted it, he might not have spotted it, we don't know.
Written all over it there.
But
referee's assistant has not done their job there, have they?
It wasn't retaken.
Okay.
Still 0-0 and a dangerous area for Manchester City. We've got a few options to take this. Wayno.
Dino in top form.
It's going to be... it's going to be rubbish. That's what it's going to be.
Dangerous. Sorry.
Guys, can we get back to the issue at hand?
Yes.
Spurs' problems with strikers. Smithy, what are you doing? What are you sorting out?
What am I doing? Absolutely nothing about it. I wish I could do something about it. My two pennies worth, which I'll say very quickly because there's a lot going on around us. Spurs desperately need to sign a striker, and people always have the counter argument of yes, but what happens to that striker when Harry Kane's fit? I think it is a naive and an almost... I don't think it's an argument that has any legs to it, myself personally, because you could say that for any of these strikers. Gabriel Jesus, for instance, who's starting tonight. They've got Aguero. You know, Arsenal got Aubameyang and Lacazette. Most teams have many top strikers. I mean, Chelsea are looking at who they're going to replace for Giroud when he's only their backup striker anyway. So Spurs should have 2 or 3 strikers in place. The only out-and-out number 9, other than Harry Kane, is 17-year-old Troy Parrott, who I think will go on to have a fantastic career. Very funny. But Spurs need a backup striker. And also the argument to say that he won't play when Kane's fit, I don't really buy, because Harry Kane has quite a few injury issues and has missed big parts of a lot of seasons, and Spurs are in a lot of cup competitions anyway. And I also think that if you buy a player that is going to be of benefit to the squad, then you build a team or a formation around them. There's nothing to say you can't play with 2 strikers or change the formation. So either way, Spurs' squad is very light in that area, regardless of whether Kane is injured or not. And I'm amazed that there isn't another option available. If you're asking me if I think we will sign a striker, I really don't know. I would have said definitely yes when Kane got injured, but I'm watching the days tick down.
Oh, sorry, Smithy.
There's a goal. Look at
DCL.
Speaking of strikers, we're saying it should be in the England squad. Ball was down the left-hand side, and it's a left-footed.
What the hell has Mustafi just done?
Go on.
Oh, what a recovery.
What's happened? Penalty?
Penalty!
Dave Jackson has just applauded the...
Mustafi still an Arsenal player!
Red card for Louise.
Dave, careful of the sets, careful of the Sky Bet pillow.
Oh, no.
Dave, we can give us a close-up of Dave Jackson here right now if you want, just to reiterate what every Arsenal fan is. Just down the camera, Dave, sum up your emotions, please.
Oh, fuming, mate.
Agent Louise.
Just explain what happened, because we didn't see it. Go on.
Well, Mustafi's got all the time. He should just take his time.
Oh, it's rubbish.
And he's just played Leno and David Luiz in some massive trouble here. David Luiz has tried to recover. Just let him score, you idiot! Are you stupid?
That is so bad from Mustafi.
Tammy Abraham takes it round the keeper. And David Luiz going to recover against his former team. Brings down Tammy Abraham. The ref points to the penalty spot.
It's yellow, though, isn't it?
So it's definitely...
Could that be a red?
That is a red.
He's off.
Confirmed. It is a red card for David Luiz against his former club. And look at the Chelsea fans. The reaction to that.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Bless him.
It obviously will be checked. Card, of course. You're still talking about Mustafi, though, here.
What is he still doing here?
It's Mustafi's fault. 100% that.
It's ridiculous.
And we're just having a cutaway to the Chelsea fans. They are saying cheerio to David Luiz. They are embracing and laughing at this incident, Dave.
Oh,
We will stick with Dave. Chelsea Man City! Just gone out of play. We will stick with Dave Jackson to critically analyse and commentate over this penalty, Dave.
Okay,
if you don't mind. David Luiz shakes Arteta's hand as he goes straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, you've got to feel sorry for him because he played so
Now, Jorginho
well
is taking the penalties. 26 minutes on the clock, by the way. Interesting penalty taker, Jorginho.
With that little step.
Very unique style. Davies over the ball. It will be Jorginho against Leno. Do you think Leno will save this penalty?
yes.
You do. He doesn't.
That was such a weak penalty.
Well, that's going to be a long game.
He went the right way and didn't save it. It is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. Jorginho from the spot. The former Chelsea man.
What is wrong with him?
60
How is he
minutes
still
with 10
there?
men as well.
26th minute red card. I don't know what your maths is like, but mine tells me that is a long time with 10 men, Dave Jackson.
What is this?
Went the right way. It is 1-0. Let's get some comments from Doogie. Do you want a call to action for any Dave Jackson fans?
Yeah, everyone get their abuse in for Jacko in the comment section. Remember to subscribe to Football Daily and Soccer AM as well. Get those questions flying in.
Well said.
And Baba Yang wants to know...
The Aubameyang?
Wow.
No, Baba Yang. Wants to know, Dave, who would be... you're probably not in the right headspace for this, but who would you want to bring in as a centre-back replacement for Mustafi in the summer?
Anyone?
Well,
The camera work here has been phenomenal. Camera work here, by the way, it's brilliant. Dave, have to think about that answer while we go to Will. Big chance in one of the games. I don't know what you're doing.
Sorry, mate. Just played a bit of Twister in my spare time there. There was a ball...
Left hand yellow.
Yellow-red for me. Sorry, play on. There was a ball bouncing around in the Villa 6-yard box. Troy Deeney headers down. Good save from Pepe Reina. Comes back to him. And then I think it was off the line from Conte. I'm just getting a replay now. Ball in from the left. Yeah, deep in. And it's headed back at... No, Delafeu gets it across. Pepe Reina scratching, and then he makes a good save. And then Mings nearly scores an own goal, trying to be too clever for his own good. He needs to get rid of it there. And Villa, lift a fight another day. I've had too much pop.
Okay. Arsenal winless in the last 7 Premier League away games against Chelsea.
What's going on?
There's no reason for me to say that other than to get Dave's reaction. Dave, let's go back to the question at hand from Doogie.
Who would I take to replace Mustafi?
Yes.
A mop. I'll take anything, mate. Look, we've got a young kid who's doing very good stuff in the French league, so of course he'll come in and strengthen what we've currently got. I was just so stupid, so many times. I don't know. It's our player can keep messing up and it's still at the club. It's just stupid.
We're gathering that it's stupid, Dave Jackson. Interesting, I can give you... We spoke about Dean Henderson. So let's go back to our other feature game. Chance in that one, by the way. Man City, Sheffield United, Wayne will come to you in a minute. Had technical difficulties. Only finally got on the internet, but can tell you that... interesting that Gabriel Jesus failed to score 3 of his 5 Premier League penalties. So that's 60% of the penalties he's failed to score. Of all players to have taken at least 5 in the competition, no one has a worse success rate than the Brazilian. That is level with Stuart Downing and El Hadj Diouf. Also, Dean Henderson, the flip side of that, has now saved 4 of his last 8 penalties in the league. That is phenomenal. Apologies that was an hour late, but I've only just got back on the internet and sums up what we were saying earlier. Dean Henderson, not just a great game, but great season he's having.
Yeah, I mean, even though he was a little bit off his line, you've got to give him credit for actually... you genuinely have to give him credit for saving it. And it's a surprising amount of penalties we miss. I mean, Sterling's missed a few this season.
I even think Aguero's not...
I
wouldn't put him in the category of the Kanes and the other penalty
Maybe it's the fact that
takers.
we are an extremely attacking team and we're always going to be in and around the penalty area to actually receive the penalties.
Yeah.
That we miss so many, so maybe that's some of the case. But yeah, it's a bit kind of concerning how many we do actually miss from our main and what you expect to be most composed strikers.
I wouldn't, if I was a Chelsea fan, Jorginho, although his success rate is fairly good, his technique and his run-up and the way that he places the ball, I would be quite nervous as a fan watching that, although big game penalty and he has done the trick.
For sure. Just a final word on Dean Henderson. I feel like he was really cleverly managed earlier in the season when he made that mistake against Liverpool, and Wilder sort of called him out, being like, if he wants to play for Man United, if he wants to play for England, he's going to have to improve his concentration level.
Do you think that was clever management? Because that splits opinion with a lot of pundits and people on social media, and a lot of people were critical of Chris Wilder, but you thought the opposite.
I think if you know he knows how the player is and how he's likely to react to that. I don't think he'd do that to any normal... Is Dean Henderson 19, 20? Anyway, any normal player of that age. But he clearly knows that Henderson's got a bigger ego, he can take criticism like that, and it seems to have just propelled him onto a next level. And I think he's got to be in the mix for goalkeeper of the... possibly in the mix for goalkeeper of the year. So... it seemingly worked, but...
Oh, what a save!
Will, we haven't come to you. Just give us a quick roundup of the 4 games and what's going on.
Sorry, I'll just talk about this one while it's fresh in my memory. It was Bournemouth and nearly making it 3-0, but Matty Ryan's got that one.
Another save from Dean Henderson. Wait, I'll come to you in a minute. Back to you, Will.
Yeah, no, Philip Billing with a header. Bournemouth are in again, actually. Ball's come out to Harry Wilson. Great defending again by the Bournemouth rearguard action there. And interesting one in the Villa game. I need to get clarification, but Danny Drinkwater absolutely fuming when he was walking down the touchline.
Okay, how's that? Speaking about the Watford Aston Villa game, Jack Grealish.
Yeah, no, he's always creating chances. Obviously, he's their main man, and there was a header. I can't remember who had it for Aston Villa, but they are looking. As much as Watford are having chances, it's quite end-to-end. Villa are up there as well. Matty Target, that was
Matty Target. And
Southampton!
Southampton,
no,
cleared.
Palace,
okay, and Jack Grealish and Villa are going to get into that. They need that man who we can see on our screen now with the armband on, the flowing locks of his hair that we always see in pristine condition. They need him to do something because it's been all Jack Grealish this season. He has the most goals for Aston Villa, 7. The most assists for Aston Villa in 5. He has had more shots and created more chance than any of his teammates. So Jack Grealish, most goals, most assists, more shots and the most chance of any of his Villa teammates. Will Brazier, you did have a groan. What happened?
Absolute crunching tackle at Goodison Park. Kieran Clark on Theo Walcott. I don't think they're checking it, but he's come through the side of him very aggressively.
Double chance for Sheffield United. Wayno, talk us through it.
Yeah, we had a good chance not too long ago with Jesus at the back post with a really good passing from Rodri. But Sheffield United went down the other end, took really good football from him, taking it past pretty much every single player that comes in, every single City player, I should say, that comes into sight. Ball comes in across the box. nearly gets there. Luckily, Edison saves it, but it's really nervy at the moment. The best chance of the game so far.
Oh, talking about best chances, big chance for Shane Long there, Will.
No, he scored at the weekend against Wolves. He'll probably go another 30 games maybe without scoring, and you've got to look at that. He was through on goal, middle of the goal, keeper stood there, and he's just rolled it straight to the keeper. You've got to put it left or right, and he's put it down the middle.
Thinking of that game of the weekend, did you see Bednarek's goal against Wolves?
Oh, what a goal!
And he hadn't scored since like April 2018. It was a game of weird goal scorers, but what a finish from Bednarek.
I get the Shane Long why you have him in, because Ward-Prowse and Zaha at it again.
It is the same two players, isn't it?
They had a little one as well in the start of the second half where Ward-Prowse took the ball, eventually rolled it back to Wilfried Zaha, but that did wind him up.
It did wind him up.
Hassan also really likes Shane Long's sort of unselfish running, and he makes a lot of space for.
You couldn't have Shane Long just as
by himself.
Yeah. Thank God for
Crystal
Danny.
Palace Southampton still 2-0, Will?
Yes,
Am I right in saying 2 good goals from outside the box?
Yeah,
They're both outside the box?
Yes, both outside the box. 2 absolute screamers. Probably Nathan Redmond is better, but that doesn't take anything away from Stuart Armstrong.
The reason I asked that, what might seem like a bizarre question, Will, because did you know, this is a bizarre stat that prior to today, all 48 Premier League goals in Crystal Palace's match this season, that's goals that they've scored and goals that they've conceded. So 22 they've scored, 26 they've conceded. They're the only side whose games haven't seen a single goal scored from outside the area so far. There we go. But that's over now, isn't it?
That's a great stat.
It's a very peculiar stat, isn't it?
I was just trying to think of anything that was near being outside of the area, but... Oh, Ramsdale again, Smithy! I'll tell you what, I know they're 2-0 down, but... Sorry, they're 2-0 up, aren't they? So he saves them even more important. He just took another one.
Chance for Man City, Wayno! Wayno, Sterling talks about his performance today. Obviously, we all agree he's a top player, but the things that we've seen, he had a half chance he missed earlier, blazed that over the bar. Doesn't seem like this is the Raheem Sterling game we're watching here.
I mean, he's a little bit out of form. Definitely making the wrong choices in this. Getting the ball in the penalty area on the right-hand side and just blazing it. Just really bad decision. Just boots it. I don't even know if it was a cross or a shot or whatever it was awful. But we seem to be getting Aguero ready.
Looks like he's definitely coming on, doesn't it?
We're not happy with the way we're playing up front, so get Aguero on, hopefully.
Who would you take off for Aguero?
It's tough. I think, I don't even know if Fernandinho's still on the pitch. I think he's gone into the defence. I don't know, it's quite tough because there's been quite a few players who haven't played amazingly. You could see a straight swap for Jesus, but you could easily see Sterling coming off.
And go with both of them.
I mean, Riyad Mahrez hasn't been great either, so it's anyone at the front line really could come off. Or maybe we could take out Fernandinho and just really go for it.
And a quick word on Sheffield United as well, because we've come to you to speak about Man City a lot. I feel like we should talk about Sheffield United as well. Looks like they've once again set up very tough to beat.
Extremely organised. Really, really played well today. We haven't really given us many clear-cut chances. The ones we have had have genuinely been like kind of lumps into the box and somebody getting on the end of it. But yeah, full credits in the way they've played. They've completely organised, made it really, really tough for us to do anything silky in this game at all. Yeah,
great season for Sheffield United. Wilder, Lundstrom, Fleck, McBurney, so many the players. Mousset, great shout, performing really well. We haven't heard from Dave Jackson for about 20 minutes actually. Dave, I don't know if you're aware, but David Luiz has now given away 3 penalties in the Premier League this season.
Take your time, pick someone out.
We'll let you finish this. Half chance for Arsenal, Pepe.
It's got what the flip.
Back to Bellerin, ball whipped in.
Unlucky.
Danger is still not cleared. In the Premier League this season, which is more than any other player. He's also the first former Chelsea player to be sent off against the Blues in the Premier League since Vinnie Jones in December 1995.
And as if that isn't bad enough, we're 38 minutes in. Chelsea have had 7 shots with 3 on target. Arsenal 0 and 0. As it stands.
Really good stats there, guys.
Head in hands. Guys, just a quick reminder to get your questions in the comment sections of the Soccer AM and Football Daily live streams. Subscribe to both of the channels. And the next one comes from Dan Hames, who wants to know, James, will Man City ever win the Champions League? Obviously, you don't have the best record in the competition. Everyone says you're cursed. Do you think that is the case?
It's going to be the priority this season. And it's either... I don't think we unless we're extremely lucky or something miraculous miracle happens, I don't see us winning it without Pep at City. I think this is kind of our only shot. As I think I might have said it on this. City are going through their best ever period, and I don't really think it will get as good as it is. So it's either this year, next year, or we'd have to be a very lucky team to get it, in my eyes.
So it's now or never.
Pretty much.
I just don't think that Ramsdale will ever be beaten in goal again in a Premier League game. He's pulled off an unbelievable save. Brighton have worked it round, Neil Maupay, and he's tipped it over the bar, both hands stretching, and Ramsdale, the Bournemouth barrier has not been breached.
Is that a good game, Ramsdale, for you?
From Maupay as well.
Yeah, fantastic game. Another injury down there for Newcastle. Matt Ritchie's gone down. No, it's Kraft.
It's nice to see a Bournemouth keeper really establish themselves, because obviously in the past they've had Begovic, Boruc, Travers as well was in the mix a bit last year, but this year Ramsdale starting pretty much every single game, and obviously they haven't had the greatest year, but I don't think he's let himself down. No. So well done, Ramsdale.
Interesting one at Villa Park. This is from a completely neutral perspective. Tyrone Mings was booked in the first half, got a yellow card, can't remember what for. Second half, ball's gone over the top. Delafeo's tried to nick it past him, and he's deliberately handballed it, and the foul's been given, but he's not been booked.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Interesting one, Will. Interesting one.
Should be a red, no?
Should be red for you?
I don't know. I've read a few rules in the game. I thought that might be a yellow
There's
card.
quite a few comments also talking about that David Luiz moment and saying that shouldn't have been allowed because of double jeopardy. Because obviously it's been well, people are saying, is that still a thing? And people are just debating the rules. So if you know, get it in the comments down below.
I think it's a genuine attempt to get the ball, isn't it?
He
Right.
did try and get the ball, didn't he?
but giving away a penalty and then giving a red. Yeah, no, that's allowed. But what's there's a double.
Steve Cook had the same thing in the weekend, didn't he? He gave away a penalty and he got sent off. So it still does exist.
There's Michael McCubbin in the
chance for Aston Villa!
Save!
Oh, big save! Oh, it's a goal! Aston Villa is the only goal of the day that Will isn't cheering because it's for Aston Villa and he's a Birmingham City fan, but Will, there aren't Villa fans on the stream that want to hear about this goal. Talk to us about this goal.
Great goal!
Go on, Villa!
I can cheer this one. I've got Douglas Luiz in my fantasy. Ball came in at the back post and Douglas Luiz mopped it up. He's in the Holt end and it's his second or third goal for Aston Villa. 1-1 there. He's done the Conor McGregor walk. Villa 1, Watford 1. Plenty to come! Oh, he did it again, Ramsdale! The Bournemouth barrier will not be breached today, Smithy. Ramsdale's tipped one over the bar. Aaron Moy must be spitting feathers. Cuts in on his right. It's going in, and he's tipped it over at the last second.
Why do you have Douglas Luiz in your fantasy team? That's so random.
Have you seen how many points he scored in the last 3 games? He's on the bench.
Third Premier League goal this season for Douglas Luiz. Just having a look at the replay here. Ben Foster paying it. It's a very good first save from Ben Foster, it has to be said. But there is Douglas Luiz, left foot, cultured, back of the net. Keeper can do nothing to stop that, and it's another good performance from Ramsdale, fresh from the interview I did with him last week, which will be on Saturday Social this Saturday. There we go.
Show, mate.
Thank you very much, Will.
Cheers.
Get back to you on Social Corner. What else is going on?
Yeah, Matt Cole has clarified my confusion earlier. He says double jeopardy is just for goalkeepers. Was the rule that I was getting confused about.
Nice, cheers.
Joshua Tracy wants to know, is the Premier League getting worse? We've obviously seen the traditional top 6 sort of decline, or at least stats-wise decline this year compared to previous years, but Man City and Liverpool have changed the game in recent years. Do you guys think the Premier League is declining in quality?
An English team as European champions, you have to say no, wouldn't you?
And 2 in the final, 2 in the Europa League final as well.
I think it's it.
I'll tell you what is getting worse. Mustafi. Mental. Go on.
Sheffield United! Oh, it's a big chance for Sheffield United, Wayno.
Well, I'm very
Heart
happy
in
that
your
didn't
mouth
go
there.
in. Yeah, I don't know who's going for that, but they should have scored. Ollie McBurney, I think it was. Yep, Ollie McBurney stretches his leg out as the ball comes in from the left. I'm a very happy man. That should have really... he was offside. It's all right, he was offside.
VAR probably would have given that. They would have calibrated the lines, it looked like it, but at the time,
great use of the
Bernie's trying to bend his run.
Oh, God.
And it is Gaza, isn't it, in Euro 96, just can't quite get the ball, except not in as high profile a game.
But it's like, some would argue maybe it is.
Maybe it is, yeah. 0-0, all to play for. So 20 minutes left just to confirm the 5 games that started at 7:30, which are Aston Villa, Watford, Bournemouth against Brighton, Crystal Palace against Southampton, Everton against Newcastle, and of course Sheffield United against Newcastle. We are in the 72nd minute of those games. Still lots to play at Stamford Bridge, which is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. Still in the first half of that, although the half-time whistle will be blown in the next couple of minutes. Will?
Yes, I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Come on.
I'll pick it up. JB wants to know, do you think Wolves can push into
that's
the...
it! Get
Goal for Man City!
Oh, I'm so happy about that.
Is he onside? Yes, he's onside. It's Sergio Aguero came on for Gabriel Jesus. Wayno, talk us through your emotions.
I've lost it.
Callum Wilson.
Just a quick one from me. The duct is finally over. I will nick that stat back again. Callum Wilson has finally scored. First goal for a Bournemouth striker since October. Cheers, Jeff Stelling.
There we go. So Callum Wilson has the ball in the back of the net. It's 3-0, all going well for Bournemouth. Definitely onside. Definitely the goal stands. Sergio Aguero. Interesting sub, Wayno, when it happened, because someone was surprised that Jesus coming off.
Yeah.
But seems to be a good sub because he won the lot.
For me, it was more of a surprise that Jesus was starting, considering how good form Aguero's in.
Yeah.
Once again, De Bruyne with
what
an
a pass from KDB.
He's glorious. Aguero's glorious. The goal's glorious. We're winning, so it's good.
Speaking of glorious, how's Mustafi getting on, Dave?
He's not doing too well, but Arsenal are playing well. You know, they could have easily. They've actually had. Oh, for goodness sake! They've had a few little half chances where they've been able to work the ball quite well. I think about 10 minutes ago they was actually looking to bring on Rob Holding. He was down stripped, but he's now not. I would have loved to see Rob Holding down and ready to go. So that hasn't happened now. So I think he just wants to get to half time at only 1-0, and maybe we'll try and go again in the second half. But just come on.
We've mentioned a lot of substitutions and how they played effect. Gabriel Jesus was one coming off for Sergio Aguero. Another substitution we've got to mention, Clinton Morrison coming off for Dave Jackson. I feel like they both offer different things, played in different roles, but both been brilliant nonetheless.
Yeah, should be fantastic.
It's something that you change a position, but it still works.
Yeah, no, Dave plays nicely off Clinton.
Go on, Will.
Just one for Bournemouth. If they get the win today, which is obviously a fantastic 3 points for Eddie Howe, they've got Aston Villa at home next, then Sheffield United away, and then Burnley away, which I'm not going to say it's obviously not 12 points, but they're 4 games where they could pick up points and maybe look to get a bit of a rejuvenation on the go-do-get.
Nice. Talking of rejuvenations, though, Kieran Behan wants to know, do you think West Ham are too good to go down? Commonly used phrase, do you think they're too good?
Nobody's too good to go down.
Yeah,
okay.
No, words out of my
Been in the
mouth.
Championship.
Some of the players, you'll be surprised how poorly they are playing. David Moyes, great manager. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing badly, no matter who you are, if you go down, you deserve to go down.
Off the post.
The thing that they say is they always say the league table never lies and that the best team always wins.
Here we go! Fisticuffs down at Selhurst Park again.
I got interrupted. There's 2 things going on. Dave, let's go to you first in our feature game. Big moment. You're appealing for a penalty for Arsenal.
No, it wasn't a penalty, but the ball was played over the top, and the Chelsea's defender, I think, has whacked him off his hand. If it has hit his hand, then it's definitely at least a yellow and it should be a free kick. Where's the VAR, Smith? Where's the VAR?
It is in action, so...
It bloody better be, mate. I'm allowed to say bloody probably.
Careful, watch your language.
Mate, that's not what I wanted to say, mate.
Okay, another interesting one of your games. The half-time whistle has gone at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0.
I know what you're having a go, Mustafi. Get
surrounding the ref, not happy. And Xhaka surrounding the ref. Arsenal not happy. Jorginho with the only goal of the game to make it 1-0 for Chelsea. Arsenal players surrounding the ref. Pepe, Lacazette, Bellerin, all surrounding the ref. Not happy at all. And Mustafi doesn't look happy either. Looks more upset, I would say, is probably a more accurate expression I would use. Doogie, what are people saying? A lot of Arsenal fans or Chelsea fans on the stream?
Yeah, Omi G Gets Us wants to know who's been the star players for Chelsea so far?
Jorginho's played well.
Yeah, a lot of people will talk about Jorginho.
Callum Hudson-Odoi looks like he's been quite lively. I've only seen glimpses.
Chelsea's definitely the better team. You'd expect that with the extra man, but it's just you go away to one of these top teams and you just do something so cheap. It's just so unforgivable. It's like you're just setting yourself up to almost failure. And it's
Man City! Oh, wow.
Him off.
That would have been an own goal, that.
Great corner whipped in. I think it was Laporte with the header. And it just went onto the top of the net. Still 1-0, Manchester City, 76th minute. Here's the replay, Wayno.
Would that have been an own goal? That went in?
Laporte, by the way, we know we've got the knock early. He's limping again.
I don't know, he's a strong boy. He should be all right. I think we're going to take him off just for security's sake. Give him 70 minutes, come back from injury. He's played really well today. Had a bit of a shaky start, but really warmed into it. Was winning every single
body language.
I think he's fine.
Added a couple of highlights.
I'm being very hopeful. But, I mean, yeah, once he warmed up into the game, he was winning absolutely everything. So really good to see him back. I wouldn't be surprised now if we go and throw it away. To be fair, Eric Garcia's come on. I'm very happy about him. Really good. He's helping manage the under-11s, I think. Absolutely loves his football under Pep.
Happy days.
Yeah, and substitution, Robinson on for Sheffield United. 77 minutes gone. That will just remind us of the other 4 games that are going on. I haven't been to in a while. Scores on the doors, please, my friend.
Yes, Villa Park, it's Aston Villa 1, Watford 1. Douglas Luiz with the equaliser there. Down at the Vitality, it's 3-0 to Bournemouth. Callum Wilson with his first goal in what feels like ages. Welcome back, good brother. Crystal Palace, Southampton, it's 2-0 to Southampton. It's fisticuffs of dawn down there, but 2 absolute screamers from the Saints. See them 2-0 up. And at Everton versus Newcastle, it's 2-0 as the Ancelotti revolution continues. Moy Keane's first goal, and Calvert-Lewin can't stop scoring with a left-footed drive.
Ancelotti, we should talk about him. A new Everton manager. Evertonians very happy with that appointment, and then they had a little resurgence, and then famously lost that game against Liverpool when Liverpool rested their players. We saw a lot of unrest from the Evertonians. What do you make of him, Doogie? I know that you know a lot about him. He's doing a great appointment.
It's very exciting from an Everton fan's perspective. I don't think when he was managing the likes of PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid in the past, that Everton would think in the year 2020 he'd be rocking out at Goodison Park. But I feel like there was just maybe, from what I've read anyway, there was a bit of tactical confusion under Marco Silva. Players didn't quite know what they were supposed to be doing at what time. Duncan Ferguson steadied the ship, and Ancelotti, if he's given the right backing, could turn them into a permanent top 8 fixture, which over the last few years they haven't really been. They've been up and down, chopped and changed a lot of managers. So if he gets given the tools, I think things are looking good for Everton to get back into that top 8.
Do you think they need investment, though?
Definitely.
They need to improve on?
Yeah, definitely. I think they didn't properly replace Idrissa Gueye in the summer. He was obviously a massive loss. I think he was most tackles and interceptions in the Premier League last year. Brought in Bamin, and then Paul Guy got injured on his second appearance, which was a big loss. Andre Gomez has got a broken leg as well. They're very short at centre-back. So there's a couple of areas to improve. But then a lot of plus points as well. Calvert-Lewin's now come to the fore. Richarlison up front. Sidibe's played very well under Ancelotti as well. So there's lots to be positive about, but they're halfway through their project, if that.
Halfway through their project, yeah. Early days indeed. Dave, half-time at Arsenal, 1-0. Still only 1-0. I know that the man down, but can you see yourself getting back into it? Doogie's got cramp.
Yeah, 80 minutes in, I've got cramp. I'm not even joking.
I tell you what, everyone laughs at me on them socials, but it's hard. You do get through the miles. Stand up. Stand up.
Any advice? It's actually really important. Doogie has got cramp. Breaking news. Doogie, give us all breaking news. Clinton back in.
Right, question here from...
What is going on here? There he is.
We've got a question here from Paul in London.
Yeah, who says, extend the leg, ice it.
Ice it, keep going. What lots of salt you need. Pass me them chocolate, have a Twix.
It's lack of salt, apparently, isn't it? I had all those chips before and I didn't know what's going on.
Them are salt, give them salt.
You need to extend your leg, Doug. You need to extend the leg. Don't bend it.
It's actually in my foot rather than anywhere else, but don't worry.
Cramp in his foot. We'll help him out with the cramp in the foot.
There's a penalty shout, Doogie, forget your cramp. There's a penalty shout down at the... There's a goal at Brighton. Sorry, there's a goal at the Vitality.
You've gone to Potwell. What's going on?
Sorry, there's too much salt flying around. They're checking
bring back
handball.
Pete Dorman.
Brighton have scored. They're checking a possible handball. It's been given as a goal. It's 3-1. Eddie Howe's 3 points are not secure. Aaron Moy scored a fantastic strike, and the Bournemouth barrier has been broken.
OK, so it's 3-1. Is that right?
3-1. That's
definitely
correct.
Got that right.
Aaron Moy with the goal.
Aaron Moy with the goal. There we go. Doogie, how's the cramp?
Yeah, cramp's much better. Thanks for your concern, though, guys. Sorry, that was pretty embarrassing having sat stationary for about an hour and a half. But
it's tough, mate.
It happens.
Does happen.
Jacob Clements wants to know, what have you made of Tammy Abraham this year so far? Obviously, he does get a lot of flack, I feel, unnecessarily, but I think he's third top scorer in the league. Should he start for England without Rashford and Kane? What do we think?
I think there's 2 points there. First is he has massively overperformed. I think he's had a fantastic season. And if I was Gareth Southgate, the first phone call I'd be making would be to Jamie Vardy and say, look, come on, you're the top score an English striker, you have to come on the plane. Or stay at home at Wembley, whatever it is. So that would be what I would be doing. But I think Tammy Abraham should definitely go to the Euros. Probably not starting though.
Okay, so you're taking Vardy, Abraham,
Rashford and Kane if they're all fit.
Rashford and Kane.
I think with the available strikers right now, let's say Jamie Vardy doesn't come back out of England retirement, you have to take Tammy as number one. Like, as good as Ings has been, I think Tammy has shown more in terms of... Actually, that's quite harsh because Ings does give a lot for a team, but just the way Tammy plays, he's a massive danger. I know Ings has been fantastic, but he would be my number one.
Definitely.
And obviously all dependent on whether or not Vardy would come back, if the call would be made, if Kane's fit, if Rashford's fit. Kane and Rashford have got two
big injuries.
Quite serious injuries that I don't think from chatting to... we were chatting to players that had them. We had Bayo, who had a similar injury to Kane.
It's a while, isn't it?
And they said that both of those injuries are ones that you can't rush back for. So, I mean, yeah, see how that develops for England.
I don't think we can afford to take two not fully fit
That's
strikers.
it, well
One
played.
maybe, but definitely you can't take two.
It's devastating for Man United. I think Rashford's been involved in about 48% of their league goals this year. And obviously in the summer, getting rid of Sanchez, getting rid of Lukaku, without bringing in replacements. Sure. And massively for Spurs as well. But I just feel like United have been they're gonna take punishment from their indecisions of the summer, or lack of decisions, I should say, in recruiting that forward area. And top four still up for play. They're only 5 points behind, so it's still up to play for.
I think this is a big win for Chelsea, by the way, because we were looking at the table earlier, and they have dropped points, lost to Newcastle recently, and Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United have all been so inconsistent, and you sort of think it's the kind of game you think Arsenal might get something from, and then it opens up again. If Chelsea win tonight, you think it's really advantaged them.
If we don't win, there's no way Arsenal can get top four. But then again, we're still in the Europa League, so if you win that, you get Champions League football. But I think
Is that your best chance for Champions League football then, you think, winning the Europa League?
If we don't win tonight, yes, 100%.
Okay. Chance, Will, what happened?
Trossard with his left foot, he's been brought on as a substitution, worked it onto his left and just went past the near post. Very funny incident down at Goodison Park. Lascelles and Calvert-Lewin got into a set two. And Calvert-Lewin said Lascelles had bad breath. He was doing this.
Okay, the classic. Back to you, Wayno. Man City nearly with the second there.
Some really good intricate football from Sterling and Otamendi. Sterling weaving through absolutely every Sheffield United player, but unfortunately getting a shot just past the post. Would have been a brilliant goal if that went in. And I can't really say Sterling would have deserved it, but it would have really kind of boosted his performance for the night.
Still at half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. And interestingly, this is the first time Arsenal haven't had a single shot in the first half of a Premier League game since May 2015, which was against Man United. That needs to change.
Guys, I've got some breaking news.
Go on.
For Will. Sky Sports News have confirmed that Man United are willing to pay in excess of £30 million for Birmingham City's Jude Bellingham.
Ooh. Will,
the night's just got worse.
Big Birmingham City fan, tell us about Jude.
30 mil?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take 30 mil. I think that's a fair price. I think he'll get loaned back to us, maybe for 6 months, maybe for 18 months. 30 mil for a 16-year-old. I mean, he could be an absolute baller at Man United, but I'll definitely take 30.
And £30 million in the league, you're in the Championship. There's a lot that can be done with that, isn't there? Is that what you're looking at? Investment for the club?
I think the common misconception is that we haven't got money to spend. We have. The owners just spend it absolutely terribly. So this money obviously gets certain parameters off our back, and I'll take the money and run.
And as we've seen glimpses of him, I know that when it was linked last week, we immediately contacted you because I know that you've spoken about him for many weeks now. How good can he become for you, or is it too early to say?
I think the biggest compliment you can pay him is he's 16 and physically, that Dave, you know from watching him as well, he doesn't look out of place. And in the Championship, obviously, it's improved vastly in football quality, but the physicality's still there. And you look at Dele Alli when he was at Milton Keynes, getting 200 games under his belt at that young age, and that's saw him kick on. So I think if Jude can get those sort of amount of games, I think he'd be a great asset for Man United in the future. It's not often we get linked with these big transfers anymore, little old Birmingham. Thank you for the money, Man United. Thank you for having us.
There you go. So Will, not as disappointed as we thought you might be with that news.
Well, he's obviously going to go, isn't he? It's just when and where. So if you get 30 million for him now, I mean, that could potentially buy 2-3 like fantastic players in the
I
Championship.
think there's also a danger that you leave so early in your career. I mean, there's been so many high-profile Championship players. I think back to the likes of John Bostock back in the day, and really high-profile talents that sometimes go too early in their development, and then because it's going to be so hard for him to start for Man United. Then is it better for him, to stay for a few seasons, do you think? And
well, I think if they if they were to loan him back for 18 months, I don't think anyone would raise an eyelid at that. So I think if we can get him back, definitely for the end of the season and for next year, I think that benefits everyone, Birmingham and Manchester United.
Heart in your mouth moment there, Wayno.
Yeah, Rodri giving the ball away in our final third, but luckily Otamendi was there to kind of mop it up and just boot it away. Decent bit of play this from Sheffield United. They've had the ball for a good few minutes now, and we haven't really created too much in the last 5 minutes, but it's still a nervy game. I mean, I'm not ruling Sheffield United out of this.
Chance, Sterling.
There's a few questions. Just briefly touching on that Jude Bellingham. A lot of people haven't seen him play as much as you have, Will. What sort of type of player is he?
Well, he's played 3 positions for us. When he first came in, he played striker, then he played centre attacking midfield, and now he's been like a box-to-box midfielder. So,
and has he excelled in all 3? Has he seemingly got a best position?
I think he's excelled, and that's not just because he's a 16-year-old. Oh, Villa nearly scored. He's excelled because he's been brilliant in that position, no matter what age. So his finishing's absolutely. He's a very instinctive finisher. The goal I saw in the flesh against Leeds was that. The one against Cardiff at the weekend. So he's very athletic as well. Be the one, but then he's got the legs for up and down in midfield as well.
Nice.
Thanks
for the intel.
Here we go, Will. Go on,
We've
Chance for Man City.
Shoot. No.
Wow. Lovely feet. Well read. Still 30 minutes.
We've got another question in. Well, it's more of a comment. It's from Gurpreet Diol, who says #back to Highbury. But I want to know, Dave, what do you most miss about the glory days?
Well, like winning, wasn't it? You know what? I've actually thought a lot about this over the last couple of years. I think the biggest mistake I think we made was selling Patrick Vieira. I think he was the club captain. He knew how to win. The amount of games I used to see him as a child, just say, rather than Stephen go, right, we are not losing today. We might not win this game, but we're not going to lose. I think the moment, and in fact he was the captain as well, and I don't think he was ever properly actually replaced. I know we had a young Cesc Fabregas coming through, but he was a young Cesc Fabregas, I think the biggest mistake was letting Patrick Vieira go. I think it was absolute criminal. And we look back now, we haven't won the league since Patrick Vieira was at the club.
I can see the pain in your eyes.
I think there would have been times that if Vieira was still at the club, we probably would have won the league potentially in 2008. And
that much difference, do you think? That influential.
Can we get some violins in the studio, actually? Yeah. That's what we're really missing.
No, but I just miss a lot about the glory years, mate.
What did you make of the Wenger comments recently about
we lost our soul or something? Well, the point of all, I mean, the point of moving to the Emirates Stadium was for us to be able to compete, and we haven't properly competed. So what was the point? I don't think the way that our financial planning went, I don't think we realised how much the TV money was going to actually increase. Because if you look at it now, Premier League teams don't actually need to fill their grounds for it to that much affect the actual wage bill. Because you get so much money from the TV rights. So I think if we'd have realised that was the way that the financial system was going to go, then I think we probably should have stayed at Highbury.
Chance for Villa to nick it late on, Will.
Yeah, Grealish.
As the danger cleared.
Running down the left-hand side, the ball was bouncing around in the 6-yard box, but ultimately it was cleared to Watford. Oh, what a tackle. I think that was Konsa there. Sliding in and win it back. It's very end-to-end. Both teams need the 3 points. And here's Grealish.
Chance.
Weaving, wandering around, still Grealish.
It's gone down.
Cleared VAR.
Nothing given.
Grealish weaving in and out.
At Bournemouth,
to
the Vitality.
ground.
Smith just have to interrupt you
No
there.
penalty given at Villa Park.
They're checking
but
the
will
penalty.
there be a penalty
at
the Vitality?
Yeah, sorry. I think Nathan Ake's brought someone down in the penalty box. They're checking it. That would make it 3-2 with a matter of minutes left. And Eddie Howe must be so nervous right now. They've gone on a terrible run and they are currently 3-1 up. This would make it 3-2.
Close them down.
Just in a replay that Grealish incident, I think they've got that one right. No penalty Wasn't enough contact there. I don't think VAR will be overruling that. No, they're not. It's a corner to Aston Villa. Will, what is going on?
Corner kick.
Vitality.
Corner
Penalty
kick.
or no penalty?
No penalty.
No penalty. Eddie Howe and Nathan Aki, and all at Bournemouth in the home end breathe a sigh of relief. We've just kicked off for the second half at Stamford Bridge. There's an injury straight away for an Arsenal player, Dave. What happened here?
It was a bit of a 50-50 with Morrison, and he's kind of come off worse. So he's in the sidelines. I don't think he's done anything particularly wrong there. It's just a 50-50. He's come off worse, and he's kind of slid into the holdings really. But yeah, he needs to get back up and get running.
It doesn't look like the Chelsea fans were helping him out there, should we say?
No.
Just whack. Oh, it's not a whack.
And we're in injury time at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1-0 down. They've got a chance. Dying minutes.
Who was that?
Nervous
Garcia.
times here.
Oh, if that was Garcia.
Yeah, it was Garcia.
Fantastic from him. Really didn't do ourselves any favours there. Last few seconds of the game, we're giving the ball away in our own half. Should just keep it, get in the corner. Sheffield United have given us a really, really tough game here today. And I think we'll be very happy coming away with a win if we do.
Big win for Pep Guardiola's men if they can get this one over the line.
Closing minutes at Villa Park here. It's been all Aston Villa in this huge game. 1-1. Obviously, Watford have had the better form recently, but Villa need this at home.
Chance for Watford, Will!
Deulofeu's weaving. Oh, good defending.
So just to confirm, we're in the 92nd, 93rd minute of all of our games into additional time for all of our 7:30s. Will, is there going to be a late goal in any of these? Chance for Newcastle?
I think the main one to keep your eye on is... It's Aston Villa Lejeune, who famously said in a programme, actually I can't get into that, Lejeune with an overhead kick. It's 2-1 now, game on down at Goodison Park.
What a goal, bicycle kick, Will.
I want to ride my bicycle, I want to ride it now. Clinton Morrison obviously said he scored against Exeter with one of those. He will love this.
It's a shame if that's just a consolation, because you want to be wheeling away in celebration with a goal.
Nice.
But yes, wheeling away, bicycle works on two levels, but it looks like it will be in vain, because there's only a minute left in that. Oh, and another big chance for City.
Yeah,
blazed wide.
We're just kind of playing with Sheffield United in their box at the moment. Ball passed out to Rodri outside the box. He's absolutely whacked it. And that would have been a beautiful goal. I love them kind of goals.
It's one of them when you're sacked just next to the goal, you just move out the way.
It's always like a defender or a defensive midfielder. So, why not?
Dave Jackson is off his sofa with his arms on the table. Is it bad already, Dave? We've only played a minute of the second half.
Come on, blow the whistle.
Positive, come on.
Southampton are in there. Shea Adams for his first goal. Sorry, it's Danny Ings. he scored
Danny Ings, who is on. He was offside anyway, so it would not have counted.
We're here at Villa Park, still looking for that. Both sides are absolutely going for it. Conte coming forward for Villa now. They're getting players more and more forward. I don't know. Newcastle are going long ball forward. It's like the Super Bowl. Hail Mary.
Ball tries for Newcastle.
Burn around. Off the post. Lissell. Burn around. Burton. Off the line. Finish it. He's going to it. He's blown up.
He's giving it.
It's gone.
He's giving it.
The goal is gone in the dying seconds of Goodison. Will, what? It was 2. It was 2-0 Everton with a matter of minutes to go. Bicycle kick at 2-1. We thought it was in vain. It wasn't in vain because Newcastle have equalised. It is 2-2.
Goodness me.
Will is behind the line. Look at Jordan Pickford. He is fuming with the Everton defenders.
If you're a goalie, don't stand behind the line. Day one in goalie school. The ball's bouncing around. Thank God for goal line technology, because Lejeune's bicycle means everything. Now, I don't know who scored it. It was back in. It was recycled. It was put back out, and then it was put in. I love a scramble. I love a late goal. I love the football social.
Yes, so it's Everton 2, Newcastle 0. It's now Everton 2, Newcastle 2. 2 goals in injury time. Are we going to see more late drama, Will Brazier?
Yes, please, at Watford. They're down the other end. I think they're trying to hold on to a point. They're recycling it. They're going backwards. Game over. Anyhow, the streak is over. They've got 3 points, and what a vital 3 points down at the Vitality.
These are the scenes at Bournemouth. It finishes Bournemouth 3, Brighton 1. Goals from Harry Wilson, Pascal Gross with an own goal, and Callum Wilson finally getting back on the score sheet. A consolation for Aaron Moy, but all 3 points go to the home side. Look at what it means to these players. Callum Wilson is on the ground. Look at that. Laughing, cheering. It's a big, big 3 points, but will that be enough come the end of the season? Can it be the start of something special at Bournemouth? Can they survive the drop? Wow.
Over at Southampton as well, and at Goodison Park. Wow.
Yeah, a couple more full times to bring you. These are the scenes. This is Goodison Park. What a game we witnessed at Goodison Park. Moise Keane, 30th minute. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 54th minute. It was 2-0 Everton in the 94th minute, Dave Jackson.
Unbelievable.
Lejeune scored both goals. One in the 94th, the bicycle kicked, and one in the 95th minute. I repeat, it was 2-0 Everton in the 94th minute. And there's been another late goal. Will Baser!
Unbelievable! Haji, Parker and Zach are my three best friends who support Aston Villa. They're there. They'll be bouncing. Dean Smith still doesn't look very happy considering he's just scored a last-minute winner. Villa 2-1. The whole end is rising, and they have got 3 points, 3 crucial points. It was Conte with the goal. I just waited to see what it was. Here we go, the replay. Pepe Reina, long ball forward. Watford need to clear it. Ball's bouncing around. Tyrone Mings comes back, deflected, top bins, and Villa have done it.
And the scenes at Villa Park, the fans are going, wow, we thought we'd seen our quota of injury time goals at Goodison Park. We were wrong. Injury time winner. Look at that home end. Dean Smith, John Terry going absolutely crazy in the dugout. They know that is a big 3 points, a 6 pointer at the bottom of the table, and Aston Villa, the 95th minute, look to have stolen all 3 points. The knee slide from Konza into the corner flag, and surely the whistle is going to go any minute. Full-time scenes at Crystal Palace. We can bring you the scenes right now. There are the managers embracing, and that one finishes Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 2. Another very, very animated manager, Ralph Hasenhüttl, running the length of the pitch to go and see the away fans. Nathan Redmond after 22 minutes, and Stuart Armstrong after 48 minutes. Big win for Southampton. Some of the teams down the bottom of the table having some big results. Southampton struggling for ages, winning. Villa, who've been on struggling form recently, winning. Bournemouth winning. Doesn't really help each other out, really, does it? But it's good for those 3 teams individually. And we need a breather. There's Zaha, we saw, was not happy in the first half, wasn't happy in the second half. Wow, what late drama.
Loving the drama.
Wayno, what a night.
I mean, considering I was watching City the whole time, I feel a bit disappointed.
Yeah,
it was a bit of a dull game compared to all that. 2 goals,
94th, 95th minute, and then a winner in the 95th, 94th for Aston Villa. Wow, the final 7:30 game has ended. These are the scenes, and look at what it means to those Villa players and those. Watford the lead in the 38th minute. Douglas Luiz on the 68th minute, and then Konza in the 95th minute. We saw 2 95th minute goals.
Incredible.
And there we go, Dean Smith, big win. Doogie, we've got to go to your socials. What are people saying? There must be some delighted fans.
There's a lot of delighted fans, but I just wanted to bring up some stats. So Newcastle have now gone above Arsenal in the table. Arsenal are 13th as it stands. We are 53 minutes in, and Arsenal are still yet to have a shot against Chelsea, who have had 10 versus 3. I want to know, Dave Jackson, how do you see the rest of the season going for Arsenal?
Well, it's a long season. Look, there's a lot of positives, even from today. All right, we went 1-0 down.
Is that a positive?
We were 1-0 down to 10 men. In previous seasons, they would have all been a couple down. So that hasn't happened as of yet. There's a bit more fight about them. There's a bit more shape. They kind of know where they're supposed to be playing. Ozil's about to come off now. I think he's just come off for Guendouzi. That's given us probably a bit more legs in midfield. You know, the game stands 1-0. We've got half a chance. We've got a lot of pace still on the pitch. You know. That's your positives, Doogie.
You don't agree.
You're trying to mug me off, weren't you?
You don't agree with Zojek HD, who says that Arsenal could be relegated.
Well, your man's an idiot.
Okay.
You can tell him that from me.
I mean, you're only 6 points above it.
Yeah.
6 points.
Wow. So look, this game's not over yet. We're talking about relegation.
And Villa and Bournemouth won tonight as well. 6
points. Not
good. Points. Wow.
Not good.
Chance for Chelsea. Dave Jackson.
Got very good shape.
Not a chance.
The free header! A goal!
The Canny Wester.
Oh, yeah.
Doogie, let's go back to the comments. I mean, let's take what people are thinking, maybe statements, comments, some,
yes,
late drama.
Dan Haynes wants to know, is the Newcastle comeback the greatest in the Premier League ever?
Nah.
To snatch a draw 2-2, probably not.
They do like a comeback, though, don't they? The 4-4 Newcastle, which was against Arsenal, Dave Jackson.
Cheers, mate.
They do like a comeback, Newcastle.
They do
call it a
indeed.
comeback,
Brandon Sedge wants to know, who would you rather, Phil Jones or Mustafi? I assume that's in a football sense. Jacko, who would you rather,
It
Phil
would
Jones?
definitely be Phil Jones. I don't think you guys understand how bad... I don't understand how he's still at the club.
Okay.
He is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Charge for Lacazette? No.
For those wondering on the stream why Will Brazier slumped into his chair, there's another goal to bring you, Will. Go on, give us the update. Middlesbrough have equalised against Birmingham City.
Great news.
There we go.
Ole, ole, ole.
Big goal for Jonathan Woodgate and Robbie Keane. Men there. Dougie, let's go back to you. What else are people saying?
Yeah, it's all Arsenal at the moment, really. A2L said that they've heard that Aubameyang could go to Barcelona on loan this season. That was a rumour that was spreading around today.
What kind of nonsense is this?
Do you think it's...
Stupid.
You don't think it's going to happen then?
Definitely not on loan. If they're going to be selling, they're going to sell him, right? They're going to go on loan, is it? That's the benefit of nobody.
Okay. Not even Aubameyang?
Why would that be a thing? He's still getting paid. We're getting paid now, is he? It's not like he's going to get into Barca's team, is he?
Yeah. Opportunities to play at Barcelona don't come up too
Suarez out
often.
injured as well.
Champions
Who
League
is?
football.
Relegation
Suarez.
battle or Barcelona?
Oh.
Great tapas down.
Yeah.
Barrett's Bodega, fantastic tapas joint if you ever get the
Why don't we
chance.
take the social to Barcelona? That'd be much
Yes,
better.
That would be
yeah.
great. Social away.
Surely's had an absolute blinder.
Guys, Dog Beast, we were talking a little bit about Barcelona. We've got to talk a little bit about the Champions League. Who do we see going the furthest of the English teams? Is it Liverpool potentially? Yeah. City, obviously. Spurs have got a tough clash against Leipzig. How do you think that's going to go, Smithy?
Yeah, by the way, the reason why we'll cheer because we are keeping across Middlesbrough against Birmingham, which is another live Sky game. So the only games that are currently going on are Chelsea, Arsenal and Middlesbrough against Birmingham. Corner for Middlesbrough, Will. And it is clear. Yeah, Champions League, let's talk about it. I think Chelsea got a tough tie there.
You guys with Real Madrid as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. I do think Liverpool have the best chance because they're just suited for the Champions League. They really are. Yeah, obviously it's easy saying that as they've just won it. But if it's not them, it's City. But Real Madrid, although they have dipped, they've come back. They've come back strong, and they're really not an easy side to
chance for Chelsea,
play, especially this time in the season. Yeah.
I think they've now got the best defence in Spain, which is pretty rare for Real Madrid, so fair play to them.
Rare for Zidane as well.
Jake Beasley wants to know, Pep or Klopp? That's for maybe for the neutrals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you guys reckon?
For goodness
Dave,
sake.
do you want
If you ask me who I would prefer just because of their style and what me as a fan, I would prefer Klopp. I want someone who's going to make me want to go to the ground. Don't get me wrong, Pep plays some absolutely phenomenal football, so there is that element as well. But just in terms of that feeling when you're at a live football ground, I absolutely love that, kind of passion that Klopp brings. So for me, it would be Klopp.
It's just interestingly, there's been a change. That Villa goal was given to Tyrone Mings because of the deflection. I don't think Villa will care.
It was on I think it hit his bum.
Yeah,
it was on the floor.
Who gets given? I think we're looking at the post-match interview and their players are having a laugh about it now because it was just wicked deflection off him, but because it did get the last touch off him, it is a Tyrone Mings goal, winning goal. But Villa won't care. It's all 3 points. Pep or Klopp? Well, what do you think? It's a tough one. I like what you're saying there, Dave. I think if you'd asked a lot of fans this last year, a huge percentage would have said Pep. I think if you ask this question again in 3 or 4 years, it would be a lot closer because of what Klopp Go, Will Fraser!
Oh, it's kicking off on the sideline!
Will, tell us what's going on. What game?
Oh my God, it's absolutely the Royal Rumble's on this Sunday, but you can get it now down at the Riverside. It's absolutely booting off. All the sidelines are out. I think Middlesbrough wanted it kicked out of play. Ball at the back post, but we don't play to fair play rules. We are Birmingham City, my boy. It's Lucas Jukovic with the goal. There's a player down.
So there's an injured to a Middlesbrough player. This is what they're complaining about. Still down.
Yeah,
the ball's
referee
not played out. Birmingham score from it.
I think what we've said in the as far as Smithy, you'll know better than me, that it's down to the referee's discretion, isn't it now? If he doesn't blow up, you play on. We've played on and we've scored.
Here is a replay. Now talk us through this for the millions of Birmingham fans watching, Will.
Pedersen's put a tackle in. Bellingham's come across, maybe in his last game. He's marched forward. I think the goal's going to be obviously
They've
given.
then scored from that, so the ref hasn't blown.
And let's not forget, this is a huge battle for 17th place in the Championship. I think that needs to be said.
To be fair to Birmingham there, the referee's looking straight at it.
Yeah.
He's looking
Played
straight
well.
at that. It's not even like he's...
I think they're trying to say it was a head injury. But the referee's still not blown up. The two touch lines have collided with such force there could be atoms made there.
So it's interesting to see how this unfolds. We'll stick with this game whilst we're in quiet moment in our feature game, Chelsea-Arsenal. It looks like this goal's going to stand for you, mate.
Yeah, and it's the Duke again, I think, at the back post.
And it's late minute.
Scores in the Championship. We're looking for something different. A target man. What's the referee doing now? It can't be this. What's the referee doing?
Chaos.
Referee, look.
We'll explain what's going on,
The
please.
referee's having a chat. Oh my God, he can't disallow this.
So the goal has stood, but the referee is now going to the side.
He's sending people off.
Something's going on, Will.
The referee.
Oh God!
No
he's
way.
involved.
Here's the replay of the goal.
Craigie Gardner's on the pitch. Transferred to a coach. He's having a stern word with the referee.
Oh no!
Well, what's the referee doing here? He's going over, and it looks to me, Smith,
Yeah, go on.
like they're trying to say it's being disallowed. But
We still don't know what's going on.
he's
Just
angry.
clarification, Birmingham City have put the ball in the back of the net, which would have made it 2-1, I believe, Will.
2-1
So a big goal late on in the game.
last minute.
In the last minute, winning goal for Birmingham City.
What's going
But
on
there's
there?
communications going on. Will is off his seat.
Sorry.
He's not a small man. And they're still having conversations and confrontations.
I think this might be about maybe who's getting sent off on the touchline. It can't be. You can't rule that out there, can you? After that,
We will see.
because that's absolutely crazy. What's
Drama.
sort it out? Sorry,
David, let's quickly go to
No,
the
it's all
Arsenal
right.
game. What's happening in the feature game while Will works out what's going on?
Chelsea completely on top at the moment. They're working the ball well. They're going from side to side, making Arsenal work particularly hard. But, you know, game's still 1-0. You know, we've looked OK on the counter. So, you know, you got to hope we can keep it tight, and then we get sniffed, we get half a chance, and hopefully, like I said, can be a bit more clinical and actually put the ball back in net. That's
And
the
we
hope
still
anyway.
don't know what's going on at the Riverside.
Red cards.
Couple of red cards. Is that a red card for both managers, Will? What are you looking at there?
the coach and.
Come on, Martin.
There's 2 red cards we saw.
Two
Oh,
red
come on!
He's through!
He's through! Come on! Come on! The camera's over there. Goal for Arsenal, Dave!
Get in! Martinelli!
Dave, talk us through a big moment for
I
Arsenal.
believe Kante was on his backside. He fell over. Martin, he did not care. He carried run. He was going all the way through on his own. Tate finished the ball absolutely fantastically. Amazing finish. 1-1. Top four's back on. Let's have
It
this.
all came from a Chelsea corner, Dave. Here is the Chelsea corner straight down the alley.
Yes! Look at this. I said we look good on the counter. Oh, Kante, sit down.
Is that a Stevie?
That's a great
finish.
Good finish, Martinelli. Arsenal back in the game, 1-1 after 63rd minutes. Will, can you confirm what's gone on at the Riverside?
I actually can't believe that. That's an absolute disgrace.
Go on, what's happened?
He's given a drop ball.
So Birmingham had the ball in the back of the net. It's been disallowed. 2 red cards on the touchline, and it's a drop ball.
Honestly, mate, I have seen some things in my time, and that's an absolute disgrace. We haven't even got VAR. Where's this coming from?
What's going on there?
You haven't got VAR. It doesn't exist in the Championship. We can confirm that. There is a chance here, Will, though, from the drop ball. Can you make something of it?
Chance from the drop.
That's well. How does that? He's played on.
Explain what happened. Come on.
There was a foul. Sorry, it wasn't a foul. It wasn't given. There was a tackle. The referee didn't give
The
a
foul.
foul. Bellingham took the ball up the other end, crossing at the back post. We scored.
Scored what would have been the winning goal for Birmingham in the 90th minute.
Yeah. Kicks off on the touchline. Woodgate's throwing his toys out the pram, and Middlesbrough want a free kick. Some of the backroom staff, absolute disgrace. Then referees come out, absolutely lost the plot, and he's given a drop ball. I mean, Smith, if it was VAR, fine, because I could understand.
So your issue is the ref's changed his mind. Is that what you think's happened?
Oh my God, we nearly scored.
Birmingham nearly scored again. Birmingham so nearly scored a winner. I mean, imagine Middlesbrough go down the other end and
What they
score.
done here? What are they messing about?
Wow.
What a great finish that was from Martinelli.
This is, what a long throw this is.
Look at this. Really
That Martinelli finish I can bring you was Arsenal's first shot of the
Cheers,
game.
Dukes. Cheers, mate.
And the away end have found their voice, Dave.
Oh, we've been singing, buddy. We've been singing.
I mean, we didn't have sound up in the studio, so there's no way of knowing that. But you can hear it now, Dave. And I've got to say, the Dave Jackson celebrations are something like we've never seen before. No doubt that is being clipped up.
Good. Come on, just blow the whistle now. Come
So,
on.
65 minutes left. Sorry, 65 minutes gone, should I say. Can you see Arsenal getting something now, potentially getting a winner?
Oh, if we get a draw, it would be an absolute, fantastic result. Absolutely phenomenal result if we can nick a draw here.
Yeah, the comments are flying in.
Let's go to you, Duke.
Gadget Master says, come on, Chelsea. Vidua Aurora says, Mustafi got the assist for Martinelli's goal.
Yeah.
Ranit Frank says, Chelsea, take that. Martinelli again, man. This is what Arsenal is all about. But what I want to know, Jacko, is Martinelli the most impressive breakthrough player of the season?
You can't shush him, he's asked you a question.
Sorry, mate. That was a...
How rude!
That is rude.
Sorry, is he...
So-
What's the question?
You don't even
You
listen.
don't deserve it.
Well, they're on the attack, aren't they?
Well, tell us what happened then.
Chance for Middlesbrough.
Oh, wow, there is actually a chance for
Oh,
Middlesbrough in the
man.
dying
Oh,
minute. Oh, can you imagine Barrett scoring now? Look at Will. There's another game going on as well.
Vaughan W has reminded you that you're in 10th, but that's just it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And but I wanted to know, is Martinelli the impact player of this season?
Oh, chance for
Like the likes of Greenwood, Reece James, Haaland. I don't know who else.
Barkley on for Kovacic,
He's been
incidentally.
incredible.
Beginning of the season, it was in the Europa League. He came on, he got goals. He got a very important goal for Arsenal away at West Ham back in December, and obviously tonight he's taken his chance fantastically. So I think he's been absolutely phenomenal. Is he the best breakthrough star? I think you're looking at a breakthrough star. You've probably got to say the Man United goalkeeper on loan at Sheffield United. I think he's been absolutely fantastic because he's been so consistent as well.
He did have a good season last season.
I'm talking about the Premier League. Was it in the Premier League? Yeah.
No. But what I'm saying is, a good season in the Championship, culminated in going to the under-21s, and he's a player that we knew about a lot about. Do you know what I like about Martinelli? And I've said this as a Spurs
what have you done
fan,
here?
very honestly, is that I feel as a young player, that's a really pressurised situation. If you're a fox in the box, you get a chance where you don't overthink it.
Yeah.
That is the sign of a really good, composed striker. Because a lot of strikers say when you're through on goal and you've got that much time, it's the overthinking of it can actually work against you. And the composure that he showed there, the maturity beyond his years, I think he's a top player.
I tell you what's... this is not me trying to have a little go at Man United, but he was on trial at Man United and they said he wasn't good enough. And the fact we only paid, what was it, £6.5 million? I think it's 6.5 million euros. It's just absolutely crazy in this market.
Dave, interestingly, with Sky Bet now, you can get 10-1 on Arsenal to win this match. It's only 1-1, 22 minutes left, 10-1. If you fancy that, with our friends at Sky Bet for Arsenal to win this match, don't forget you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. Please gamble responsibly. So, interesting how this game suddenly turned now.
For sure. Jacob Clemens has a question.
Shout out, Jacob.
They want to know, how do you see the top four finishing this season? I'm going to change that slightly. I'm going to ask, how do we see Leicester finishing this year? Obviously, they've only won 2 of their last 7 now. Do we think Leicester could actually potentially drop out of the top 4?
No, I think
at the moment, they are 11 points clear, but their form has not been good.
I think they'll. I
think they'll finish third.
The match is finished, by the way, at the Riverside. So, Will, I know that you want to have your word on the Riverside. It finished 1-1, but a big controversial moment at the end, and you're looking at some tweets on that moment.
Yeah, so they're saying that the incident came because as Duke put the ball in the back of the net, apparently as he was kicking it in, the referee blew up for the foul down the other end.
That's that late. That late. He didn't blow.
It was like 30 seconds later.
It didn't blow. So that's the qualms that Birmingham have, that it wasn't at the time of the injury. It was 30 seconds later, almost as the ball went in the back of the net.
Corner ball!
There we go.
Who's got a corner now, Smithy?
It's a corner for Arsenal, Dave.
Come on, mate, have a bit of that.
Here we
Look at him go.
Look at him, go on. Grandpa.
Look at the away end. Could this be a big moment for Arsenal? Currently 1-1.
I'll tell you who's fantastic corner. The going to take it, but Pepe, he's got a fantastic corner in him.
James Ward-Prowse has got a great whip on him.
Yeah.
One of the best dead ball specialists in the Premier League.
Brilliant dead ball specialist. But here we go, Pepe, right by the away fans, cheering his name as he's going to whip this ball in.
Straight on Mustafi,
70 minutes
Redemption.
on the clock.
Are you ready? Mustafi.
Come on, talk us through it, Dave.
Pepe. Put it in. Go on, flick on. Oh, that was
That was awful. That was terrible.
Somewhat of an
right,
anti-climax.
you take your time now, Bellerin. Don't be stupid. Oh, what has he done here?
That's all right. You've still got the midfield.
Yeah. No, Vito, come on. Come on.
So just reminding, this is the last game left on the stream. All of our 7:30 games has finished. Birmingham, Middlesbrough, which we were inadvertently bringing you as well. Late drama in that game. A lot of late drama in a lot of our games. That has finished well. So it's just Chelsea, Arsenal. Will we see more late drama, Dukes?
Potentially. It feels like it. Arsenal slightly coming back into it. But I want to know, Ollie Coulson and myself are asking, we're actually doing a joint question this time. They want to know, how do Man City replace Aguero, James? Preparing for that.
I still think he's got a good few years in him. I don't think Gabriel Jesus is as bad as everyone's making out.
Take your time.
Chance for Arsenal here.
Cut Lacazette.
Cut in.
Pick him up.
Go on!
Oh, that's short.
I think he leaves it for Saka there. Just
David's got a lot more open this half, though. Arsenal really back into this game. It was all Chelsea first half, but you've had chances this half.
I think the thing is, like, Chelsea have to win, right? So they're going to push a lot of bodies forward. So if we can be just a little bit more clinical like that was a half.
Brilliant!
It's offside. It's offside.
But is he, though? Is he? The ball's in the back of the net. The flag is up.
Let's get it checked.
The flag was up immediately, so all the players stopped playing. So they're not going to overturn that.
No.
Did he whistle though? Look at the ref, look at the ref, look at the ref, look at the ref.
He's well off.
He is miles offside. Good
Look at the
decision
ref.
for the linesman. What's he changed then, Dave, second half? Because you think the longer it goes on, they'll get more tired with 10 men, but actually it's the opposite for Arsenal.
Well, I think what we've done, as I said, like, you know, when you was asking me when it's still 1-0, like, we haven't crumbled today. There's been many occasions, particularly going out to 10 men, it would have been 2-3 and that's it, done, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, literally what happened in the Europa League final, because we conceded one within 10 minutes of that, we're 3-0 down, the game's done. Whereas we didn't today. Like, Mustafi's done well. Mustafi's done well. Granit Xhaka's done well. Oh no, come on, nothing cheap like this.
Good save, but no, made some good saves for you today.
Yeah, Granit Xhaka's done well. He's gone back into defence.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like solidified us a little bit. So, and as I say, like we always look good in the corner. We've got a lot of pace still in the team. We get half a sniff now.
I think you've got better with 10 men. I know you only played the first like 26 minutes with 11, but you've genuinely been more up for it. You've been chasing balls better.
It's him though. It's like Martinelli. The way he's chasing that ball there, he's fantastic.
Like your passing's been slicker since.
Hudson-Odoi down the outside.
Talking about Martinelli's work rate after the City game, that Kevin De Bruyne was like, we set up in this way because we know that Arsenal's forwards don't chase back that much, except for Martinelli. So he was already singling him out as someone that works exceptionally hard on that forward.
Klopp likes to work very highly as well, didn't he? You know, the game in the Carabao Cup, he said he's a real like special talent.
Great competition as well.
Guys, we've got a question from Gracie Popsicle. It's quite a long one. Gracie wants to know. Liverpool obviously on track for 112 points as it stands. Are they, if they go? She wants to know who's your favourite Premier League team ever, and whether Liverpool would go into your reckoning. I'm obviously guessing, James, it probably wouldn't be.
They would be in my reckoning, yes, but I'm obviously biased towards City. I mean, if you're going to get 112, obviously, you know, they have to win every single game from here on in, but if you've won 112 points, you can't discredit that.
Yeah.
Have they played the most entertaining football or doing it? I wouldn't say so, but they have been the most efficient team of getting results, and, you know, to have the cliche, football's a results-based business.
100%. And just quickly, because Gracie will want to know, which was your favourite City team? 2012, 2018, 2019?
I'd say
for
fun, 2012, but for just football brilliance, probably the 100-point season. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely.
What an amazing problem. Yeah. But winning it the way that you won it in the last minute must have been so much sweeter than winning it by many points.
And the fact, like, 100 points was brilliant. I sound like such a... having 100 points is a fantastic achievement, but pipping your rivals in the last second,
when they've thought they've won because their match finished a minute before.
Fans are giving it what for?
There will be absolutely nothing that
I
beats
think there's
it.
a difference between looking at which is the best, most entertaining Premier League team and the best achievement. Because if you look at the greatest teams, you've got the Arsenal Invincibles, City's 100 points.
Chelsea,
you put Jose's Chelsea that conceded 15 goals, whatever it was, and Man United treble. Now, I firmly believe that the treble is by far and away the biggest achievement of that. To win the Champions League, the FA Cup and the league in one season is,
what's that as well?
Is by far and away the best achievement. So whilst I might not think they're the most entertaining team, because Man City, on the eye when they got 100 points, played amazing football. For me, that treble-winning team is the greatest achievement in Premier League history.
And I think now we have to wait for the Champions League final for like a month, so players rest and it becomes a bigger thing. It was like they beat Spurs at home. A week later they won the FA Cup final, and then 4 days later they won the Champions League.
It was incredible, wasn't it?
Like
and all of them were so close as well.
Yeah.
Found a way to get over the line.
Jacko, who's your favourite ever non-Arsenal Premier League team?
The Man City 2012, was it? When Aguero.
Could you enjoy that, Dave?
I was actually watching because Arsenal hadn't secured top 4 at that stage.
I was at Spurs that day. Arsenal played West Brom.
And it was so tight.
Yeah, it was really tight. And a lot of goalkeeping areas, wasn't there? West Brom took the lead.
Well, it's like the fella who used to wear like the jogging bottoms.
He used to play for you, didn't he?
John Chelsea!
Martin Fuller.
Fulham,
He threw it in.
Yeah.
And it was what's his name? Laurent Koscielny.
Yeah.
Put it in. Yeah.
Pip Spurs to.
So I didn't actually enjoy that moment at all, but obviously.
I think that was the day that Adam Smith made one of his only appearances for Tottenham, the Bournemouth right back. Not me. And I remember being devastated because Arsenal pipped us, but the only crumb of comfort I had that day was the Spurs fan singing "There's only one Adam Smith." That is, I guess, for Spurs fan, that is the highlight of my day when someone with the same name as me is getting chanted, because that was a disappointing day. But yeah, I remember actually checking the phone afterwards, because obviously at Tottenham and Arsenal the concern was top 4, and then someone saying, have you seen what's happened at Man City? And then it was just
pandemonium,
not realising how special that moment was at the time. But yeah, I think Liverpool certainly will be in that reckoning.
Guys, question from Deng Dennis Dirt. No joke. Deng Dennis Dirt wants to know, Jacko, how disappointed will you be if that invincible season goes this year?
You know what?
Does it matter to you?
It does 100% matter. You know, and the main reason is I think it's a massive part of Arsene Wenger's legacy, and I think if that goes, not that anything he's ever done is going to be diminished in my eyes, but that was the real kind of like thing that his Arsenal team did. I know they were the first to do it in the Premier League, etc.
It's his thing. It's his.
Come on, Laka, let's go, baby.
It's a long way out.
He's not. Have a dig. That's just rubbish.
He's 70 yards out, by the way.
Show a dig, mate. Show a dig.
Charlie Adam did score from about. Was that at Stamford Bridge? That guy?
Yeah.
Was from about there. Straight down the other end there with Chelsea.
He has to keep the ball better there, because now we're just back under the cosh. It's like, come on, we've got to work hard. Work for your teammates.
Got a message in from David. If you want to get your messages and questions in, make sure you comment in the comment section of the Soccer AM and Football Daily live streams. Also, make sure you subscribe to both channels. David Levy sends lots of love from Israel. He says, me and my mates hope Chelsea will win. Dave, we want to know, how has it been for the people not watching, who are following the stream, what's been happening in the last 10 minutes? Does it seem like Arsenal could nick a winner?
There is that potential, because obviously, you know, as I said, when it was still 1-0, we do look dangerous on the counter-attack, but we are definitely under the cosh here, and we're under a lot of pressure. But at the moment, we're standing firm. Ball whipped in now for Chelsea from a corner. We've got to get up to him quicker than that. But it's Ross Barkley. I imagine regret saying that.
Schwei on for Willian, Dave.
Yeah, I feel like Chelsea needs to up the tempo a bit. It's as much as we've definitely been under the cosh, it's not been as nervous as it should be from Arsenal.
Lampard will be disappointed with the points, surely, given the circumstances of a penalty was his goal and a red card.
What's to say?
I have to say, Bernd Leno's made some big saves. Some good goalkeeping performances tonight. We spoke about Ramsdale earlier. Leno as well.
Aside, without this season, we would be in a relegation battle.
That's fantastic.
100%.
Arsenal in a relegation battle without Bernd Leno.
The amount of points that he has actually won us is actually ridiculous.
Guys, question in from JB. He says, obviously, there's been a lot of new managers in the Premier League.
Here it is, here's Rob.
We need to pause because a man that Dave described as the greatest ever Arsenal player, Rob Holding, is coming on, Dave.
That was not my statement. I said that he is definitely one for the future, a player we can build a defence around, and is a player I would like to see, because of the fact he'll probably be here for a long time, you could actually make
I was joking. Who's coming off, Dave?
Pepe, he's done well. He's put himself about. He's
walking off and the ref's telling him to speed up as well.
The ref, with double jeopardy, he can 902
Careful,
one, mate.
Careful.
So... So, come on, Pepe, take your time, get the air in. Rob, don't do anything stupid. You just come out from injury. You know...
Said it now.
Rosette, out. Just get the ball out.
10 minutes left. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. Our final game on the stream. Keep your questions coming in.
now.
Get your predictions in as well. I want to get some predictions, dude.
out,
What
out,
people think is going to happen.
Get out to
We've
him!
seen so much late drama so far. Will we see one tonight?
Was that Rob? Was that Rob? Of course it was.
It was Rob Holding.
You know what I mean?
They're organising.
You love it.
Better than Cannavaro, Rob Holding, you know.
Cannavaro, who won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah?
Holding could still win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Emerson with the corner whipped in. Chelsea's corner's been terrible today.
Oh, that's enough.
Come on, switch it!
Turn inside.
He's so good. Even there, that's such smart play.
Yeah.
That is such smart play. Unlucky.
There's quite a few people agreeing with you that Leno's been Arsenal's best player. Formidable Bokang, not just Bokang, formidable Bokang, says Leno is the best player for Arsenal by far. Albo Paul, though, says Dave is mean. Not quite sure why. And quite a few people, Delroy Giffen and Uswais Ismail, all say 2-1. Both say it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Come on.
Even. Raptix wants to know, though, Dave, with a big summer, assuming you get all your targets, where can Arsenal realistically finish next year, considering your current position of 10th?
I think we need to get back into...
Offside, I think.
We need to get back in the Champions League on our league merit.
Right.
That for me would be a very, very good kind of
We won't be able to... Yeah, OK. I see what you mean. You won't be able to get in next year via the Europa League.
So I think that would be a very good season, and then we'll see where we are there. Because the thing is with that, I'm very excited by the players. I'm very excited about players like Martinelli and like your Sakas and even like your Joe Willocks and stuff like that. Because I feel like there's so much more to come from them. So if we can, go on, Guendouzi, go on, son. Ref! Well done.
There we go. Arsenal free kick.
So I think top 4, Dukes.
Nice.
There we go.
Next question. Come on.
There we go. Good decision there, Dave. Mason Mount on Guendouzi.
It's the topic of the day. It's all about Arsenal and Chelsea. And Eddie Howlett wants to know, do you think Aubameyang will leave? Doesn't just have to be Dave, guys.
I think what we, as I said, we need an honest conversation with him because we can't afford to let players run down their contracts anymore. It's happened far too much over the last 10 years.
You're Arteta. How do you start that honest conversation? Should we do some role play? Or?
If you want to get a role play, you go Pierre.
I'll be Aubameyang. I'll be like,
go on,
Mikel, I'm not enjoying the football. I'm not enjoying being 10th. I want to leave this month.
This is what you say. You go, look, you pay 270 grand a month. You can do 270 grand a week. You can do as you're told, and you're going to win Arsenal some games.
I want to leave. I'm leaving the club right now.
Well, then you can keep shut. We'll get as much money for you as possible. See you later.
You changed your mind very quickly there, Dave Jackson.
Sometimes you have to keep players on their toes.
Bit of pushback. Good to know. You can get your
injury in the Chelsea game. Is this a serious one? Tammy Abraham is down. I hope this isn't another English striker out because this would be... I mean, Gareth Southgate must be watching some of these matches.
He's there. I see him in the crowd.
Behind pillows and just... wincing at these because
he's all right. He's up.
He is all right. Luckily,
Chelsea
have the ball in the back of the net.
This is such a cheap goal.
Azpilicueta, they just called him Dave.
Such a cheap
From
goal.
one Dave to another. Describe this goal, Dave.
The ball should have been clear. Like they've defended so well for about 60 minutes, and this goal is so cheap.
Back down to
Just
13.
And you can see the home fans giving it to Arsenal players there. 84 minutes on the clock.
It's not great, that is it?
A corner.
Short corner.
Well, check this is for the offside as well because I thought this was no. It's clearly onside, Dave. Whipped in.
Oh, it's poor.
No marking.
Is that holding?
Azpilicueta.
Is that holding?
It's a cheap goal to concede, Dave, isn't it?
Holding's gone to sleep.
I'm sorry to say, it's holding.
He's lost his man.
Trying to find the armband on the floor.
Dave, thoughts? Your face is a picture. I am told that camera does have capabilities to zoom even further in on Dave's expression. There we go. Dave, penny for your thoughts?
That is just 13th in one picture, I think.
Go on.
Unlucky for
Big wins for Bournemouth and Villa, Dave. Obviously, they're breathing down your necks now.
It's still the close-up, look.
6 points above relegation.
You look shattered, Dave, don't you? You look like you've lived through.
I've been here since 9 o'clock.
We're going on a great day, don't we?
5 minutes on the clock. Can Arsenal salvage anything? Do you think Chelsea?
He's down.
Do you know what? This is actually a worry because
It's not a worry, I don't care.
who is that down? I believe. I think that is Tammy Abraham down. Now, if that's from the initial incident where he went into the hoardings, that might be a worry for Tammy Abraham. The ball has not been played out.
He's overdone it.
That was the referee at Birmingham.
Dave, Chelsea have made all 3 subs, so if Tammy Abraham can't carry on, then we'll have to finish the game with 10 men.
Good.
Well, I mean, we hope he's all right.
No.
Get so sassy.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Well in.
We can't quite see because he's down the other end of the pitch, and Arsenal are on the attack here.
Chelsea could have kicked it out, though.
Yeah, they could have.
Ref! Shh. Careful.
Did he win it?
So we're in the 85th minute, just approaching the 86th minute. The ball is Lumpfield. Tammy Abraham is up, but he's clearly limping. Tammy Abraham is limping. Chelsea have made all of their substitutions.
He didn't do himself a proper
And we just saw Frank Lampard and Jody Morris on the touchline.
He needs to get a striker on.
They can't.
They can't. They've
Arsenal?
made.
We used to Arsenal as well.
Made all of their subs. Dave, you can get 15-2 with our friends at Sky Bet for the draw. Once again, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. But 15-2 is the draw with Sky Bet. Please gamble responsibly. Can Arsenal nick a point here, Dave?
They can.
They can.
They could.
Get everyone in. Bella in.
Edge of the box.
Come on! That's Smithy! Come on! Come on! Come on now! We're gonna win this! We're gonna win this now!
Assault!
You've been winding me up all day! Don't give me this! Get out!
You were calling for him to come off.
Hang on a minute, you just threw a packet of on camera.
Get in!
That is assault.
Great.
Come on!
Dave, that is quite literally a salt packet of crisps. By the way, do you know I want? A draw for Tottenham. So don't make out I don't want a draw. It's the best result for Spurs. I did not deserve a packet of crisps to balance off my nuts.
Finish.
Are you going to apologise?
I apologise, Adam Smith.
I've seen a different side of you today. Clinton! Can someone get Clinton back?
Where is he?
He's probably still there. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you what, if they had that to
That'd have been unbelievable. It is Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. 87 minutes, Dave. Happy man.
Oh no, come on. Come on. Come on.
That goal was very like Glenn Johnson for Liverpool, who did the same thing at Stamford Bridge once.
You say so?
You remember?
I do remember that, actually. I do
Thank
remember
you.
that, yeah.
Checking VAR on
Dudes,
that.
let's go to social.
The comments are flying in. SKK Cloud says, go. Psycho Certified says, Arsenal is bad. Did you just see that goal? Alex Rodriguez says, come on, you Gunners.
Dude, hang on, there no comments about the fact that he threw a packet of crisps that bounced off my
Yeah,
nut?
a few people are just saying, lock him up. Lock him up. But
Oh, wow, imagine.
Really.
Imagine
George
late drama
Zamani
now.
says, love watching Football Social. A lot of drama. Couldn't agree.
Go on, there you go, Georgie. Top man.
Come on.
2-2 though.
I feel really bad about
Oh, wow, big chance for Chelsea in the dying minutes. Michy Batshuayi. Was that the moment that Chelsea are going to rue?
How long left?
Look at this. How's he missed this?
This is all wet here.
It's clearly onside.
You had a mess.
Wow, left foot just goes wide.
Did he take a little nick off the defender,
Michy
maybe?
Batshuayi, big chance. He knows
I would like
that.
to publicly apologise to Adam Smith for playing the Chris Sitter.
Checking
Do you know
VAR
what?
actually. Apparently none of the Chris actually hits. Just getting word.
It's a good job I like you.
Oh, sorry.
Currently in review.
The one thing this show does give you is raw emotion, and we always see it when Dave's on the show when Arsenal are playing.
Come on.
Yeah. We will be giving you more on Chris
King
Gate
says
later.
Chelsea are still better. Deroy Kiffin says we just can't win at home. Obviously they drop points.
Is this a serious issue for Chelsea, do we think? Wayno, is this a serious issue for Chelsea at their home form?
Oh, of course. I don't know when the last time they won there, to be fair. It's something that Chelsea were known for, their home record, their absolutely rock-solid home record. And it's something they've been very proud of for a long time, so...
Great game.
Yeah, the time
Substitution, Dave, for Arsenal.
Yeah, it's
We're in the 89th minute, 55 seconds, so approaching the 90th. Just having a replay of these goals.
This is
a lovely
What
finish from
finish is it?
Martinelli.
So, in the last 2 months, Chelsea have dropped points to West Ham, Bournemouth, Southampton, and it looks like Arsenal at home. Martinelli.
So Martinelli is off, Dave?
Yeah, he's run his socks off.
Is it Joe Willock on?
Yeah, Joe Willock. He's
Yeah,
absolutely run his socks off here. You can't ask of any more.
Who would you have Arsenal's man of the match? A few people saying Bernd Leno in the comments. Martinelli's played well. Any other names you chuck in the mixer?
It's hard to see past Martinelli, to be honest, because even when it was 1-0 to Chelsea, he was the one who was trying. He was pestering. He was in and around Chelsea's defence. But obviously, massive saves from Bernd Leno, because without them, the game's done. So,
the 90th minute. Could you nick all 3 points here?
No, let's just get the draw.
Crips Echo is pointing out Arsenal have had 2 shots and 2 goals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Clinical.
Crazy.
Come on. Go on, have
maybe a chance for a third, though.
Go, that's it. Go to the corner. Go to the corner.
Nah, push for it.
Corner.
Boo.
Oh, ref!
Not given. Wow. Arsenal opinion for a free kick not given. Still have possession of the ball, though, as it goes out of play. It's a red throw for Arsenal.
Come on, how long's left? How many minutes added to...
91 minutes gone. 91 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. There are 4 additional minutes, Dave.
How many? 4?
4.
I'd like to remind Zach Jalab that a little wager, mate.
What?
A little wager with Zach Jalab where I had the win and the draw.
He said something very different there.
Yeah.
Come on.
Pappy Gilroy says
wow.
the Frank Lampard revolution is a myth. Arsenal TV just said Arsenal. Hazik Khan says, I'm an Arsenal fan and I admit it, all we do is draw.
That's fine. We'll take a draw here down to 10 minutes.
3 minutes left.
Interesting points there.
For thrilling points.
Oh, we're going to see so much late drama in the Newcastle game, Aston Villa, Birmingham City game as well. Are we going to see the latest of late drama in this London derby at Stamford Bridge?
This has been the most random show.
Chelsea.
Oh my God.
I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it many times. It is a corner for Chelsea.
Come on then, last bit of late drama then, boys.
It just shows how tight the league, though. If they concede here, they'll go down to 30.
I'm not sure.
If Arsenal get another goal, they'll go above Spurs.
Get it in.
Wow.
Oh my God, what a ball.
Obviously, Spurs will have a game in hand tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to play tomorrow?
Norwich, big game. And then people say... Hotspur Stadium.
You going, Smith?
I don't know yet, actually. Might be. Yeah, might be.
You're going to take your crisps?
Just thank God it wasn't a Twix, because if one of them's hitting
I
you-
wouldn't have thrown a Twix in.
Replay,
I just got carried away.
Replay the goal there. Look what it means to Chelsea players. Distraught with that equaliser.
Guys, question from Hen Hen, who wants to know
What are these names?
how's Tammy look today?
A bit off the pace, if I'm being honest. He hasn't done anything wrong.
We look injured in the last
yeah.
split. Frustrated and injured, I'd say.
You know, if we have the England debate, like if you're 1-on-1 going through a goal in the European Championship final.
Kane.
No, Ings or Abraham.
Oh.
I'd rather have Ings.
Interesting point.
Oh my gosh.
One-on-one.
Oh my gosh. Clear your lines. Come on. How long's left?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's 1-on-1.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I'm
know what
all
you're coming
round,
at.
I think Abraham's a better striker.
Yeah.
Come on.
More to his game, maybe Abraham, but Danny Ings has been lethal in front of goal this season.
Come on.
Last chance. 4 minutes additional time. It's the 93rd minute, 40 seconds on the clock.
Corner.
Wow. And it is another corner for Arsenal.
Jacko, I've got a
Chelsea.
question from
Chelsea,
Elliot
sorry.
Williams, who wants to know how much do you think Arsenal can take from this game, having been
If we
down from
drew,
10?
this is an absolute
Being
phenomenal
down to
result.
10.
Foundation
Yeah.
block in it.
Now, bit.
No, I think it wasn't a joke.
This is the big turning point, yeah?
Somebody take me serious. Yeah, it's
Turning point.
Come on.
Come on. Come on.
Last
for one
corner
more
for
chance.
Chelsea.
Ball in.
Whipped in.
Knocked down. A ball!
Yes!
There we go. Dave Jackson buzzing with a draw.
What a result!
Great game of football.
is
Dave,
massive.
happy with that point.
I'm over the moon, genuinely.
Chelsea
over the
2,
moon.
Arsenal 2.
I said when it was 1-0, like we looked dangerous on the counter. If we could just keep it 1-0, I reckon we had half a chance. And they proved me right. Yeah?
What a show.
Can't wait
Right,
to see the
lots
best
and
bits.
lots of people joining us on the live stream. We've seen 6 matches. We even brought you one from the Championship as well. The Birmingham Middlesbrough game. Goals galore. Late drama for Newcastle. 2 goals in the 94th and 95th minute. And a late win in the 95th minute for Aston Villa. We saw late goals in the London derby. Arsenal equalising with minutes to spare, we saw Dave Jackson throwing a pint of crisps against my head.
That was great, mate.
Crisps. I can't think straight because I have a head injury. There we go. And VAR drama in some of the other games and a big win for Bournemouth. We'll wrap it up. What the games you saw?
Goodness gracious! I mean, we thought it was coming to it. It was 2-0 to Everton in the 92nd minute. Lejeune scored an overhead kick. We didn't want it to go to waste. It didn't go to waste. Then all of a sudden he scored what was the greatest goal line scrambles of all time. They rescued a point. And then at Villa Park, I think it was the 95th minute. Long ball forward from Pepe Reina, and Konsa hits one off Tyrone Mings' backside, I think, and it goes in. Aston Villa get a huge 3 points. Southampton win 2-0 away at Crystal Palace. Two screamers. Make sure you can check them out on the Sky Sports Football YouTube channel. And also there was another game which was at Bournemouth. They won 3-1 against Brighton. Massive win for Eddie Howe. Really pleased for him. Keep the faith in Eddie Howe. He's a great striker. And Dave.
Worrying signs this, though, because we already know Kane, big injury, out until April. No. Marcus Rashford, big injury, out for months as well. 2 serious injuries. We are watching live pictures of Tammy Abraham being carried off.
As well.
It's the Euros up in
shoulders like this. So he's got his arm round one physio and his other arm round. He's limping with his leg.
I thought there was a few.
It's going to be England Calvert-Lewin for England.
So he's not being carried off on a stretcher, but carried off like that. You know what it is. Limping. So Tammy Abraham limping off the pitch. This is dreadful scenes. As England fans, this is not what we want to see, with injuries to Harry Kane and to Marcus Rashford. And now Tammy Abraham limping off. So we wish him well and hope it isn't anything too serious.
Amazing.
Stop smiling about the injury.
No, come on. I'm not laughing about now the game's done. I want it to be fine, don't I?
Yeah.
But, during the game.
Arsenal fans going to the away end.
This is.
Oh, what an absolute...
Let's get her on the social.
Lovely, lovely scenes. Arsenal fans embracing their players.
Oh.
And Mikel Arteta looks fairly pleased with that. Dave Jackson describes it as a massive win for Arsenal, a point. Let's have a reminder of the results from all of today's games. Here we go. That's Will Gruntz going into the results. Goals in every single match tonight. We were spoilt at Aston Villa 2, Watford 1. The story of the match, Troy Deeney giving Watford the lead after 38 minutes. Douglas Luiz from 68. And then Tyrone Mings, didn't know anything about it, deflected off him. 95th minute winner. The scenes at Villa Park. It's a huge 3 points in a 6-pointer at the bottom of the table. And another team near the bottom of the table that had to win, quite simply. They did do the business. Bournemouth 3, Brighton 1. Harry Wilson, Pascal Gross own goal, and Callum Wilson. Aaron Moy with a late consolation on the 81st minute. Crystal Palace 0. Southampton 2, big win for them. Nathan Redmond and Stuart Armstrong. And possibly the game of the day was Everton 2, Newcastle 2. Listen to this. Moise Keane, 30 minutes, made it 1-0. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 54, made it 2-0. It was 2-0 to Everton in the 94th minute. Lejeune with 2 goals. One was a bicycle kick. 94th minute, and then one that went over the line in the 95th. Could you believe it? In a word, Will Brazier.
No.
Thank you, Will Brazier. Sheffield United 0, Man City 1. Big win for Wayno's men. Sergio Aguero, what a phenomenon he's been in the Premier League over the years. 73rd minute, and then it was Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Jorginho from the pen, Azpilicueta. David Luiz getting sent off after 26 minutes. Goals from Martinelli and Hector Bellerin. We can all breathe. This is what it means for the table. Norwich stay bottom. Don't forget they do have that game in hand. That is at Tottenham Hotspur, away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow. Watford and Bournemouth make up the bottom 3. And now look at West Ham, equal on points with Bournemouth. They do have 2 games in hand. Villa only 2 points ahead, despite the fact that they won today. Yes, let's have a look at the top half of the table. That mammoth point sees Arsenal remain in 10th. Tottenham stay in 8th. The battle for top 4. Let's have a look at it. Chelsea, 40 points. Man United, everyone's saying it's been a terrible season, all the pundits, and everyone says for Man United, they're only 6 points off 4th with a game in hand and the same goal difference. So something tells me top 4 is still a long way to go. Man City, 2nd place, but Liverpool with that 13 points lead with 2 games in hand.
Done.
Which is pretty amazing. Boys, let's look at moments of the day then. Picking a moment. I mean, so much to dissect. Will, what was your...
I mean, taking off any allegiances I have, that win for Villa in the last minute, for Konsa scoring a goal, Tyrone Mings scoring a goal in front of the whole end. A huge 3 points for them. So I think that. But Newcastle going in to stoppage time 2-0 down, I think that has to be up there as well.
You've got Konza. We thought that massive moment, Konza and Tyrone Mings for the winning goal late on. This was their reaction after the game.
Can you just check that Esri Konza winner, did it come off Tyrone Mings' foot at all? It did. And he's absolutely gutted.
Not Tyrone's foot, the winner.
Oh, I don't know about that. Whoever touches it last. Bang!
You claiming it? You can. In real life, it's actually easier to see.
So who are they going to give that to?
Well, me.
I actually think if you didn't touch that probably would have went somewhere else, you know.
That's usually how it works.
Brilliant. Come on, let's do the interview then.
Do you know what? I've got to say, it's one of my favourite post-match moments ever. It just shows up the raw emotion of the game. Scored the winner and then gutted it all. That's brilliant, isn't it? Even as a Blues fan, that's class, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. No, it's brilliant, and I think Tyrone Mings is turning into a proper leader for Villa.
Yeah.
You saw when he was out for a month, their results went down the pan, and he came back, and he leads, especially back three, left and right of him. He brings them together, and they've grinded out a result there.
Yeah, massive moment. Now I've got to say, probably my moment of the night, the 2 goals from Newcastle, because it was Villa's late one was great, but it was 2-0 in the 93rd, 94th minute.
Bicycle.
2 goals, and you just saw the difference in emotion. You saw Pickford throwing the ball down, and the fact that it only just went over the line. We saw Lamela had a similar one that didn't quite go over the line. We saw this one did. I mean, real late drama, Dave. I suppose your moment would be the Arsenal game.
Hector Bellerin's equaliser.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm so proud of him today. Because
you said you wanted to sell him a minute.
Who? No, I just said he needs to do more. and he's definitely not, because honestly, over the last 5 or 6 years, that going down 1-0 and down 10 men, they would have crumbled and lost that by at least 2 or 3 goals, and they didn't do that.
True.
They stood strong, and I think they probably deserved the point.
OK, just final points before we off air. Wayno, touch on Man City as well. Good win against a good Sheffield United team.
Good to see Laporte back, kind of, I wouldn't say commanding performance, but still, solid enough to warrant, the rest of the season playing well. So always nice to see him back playing well. So yeah, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, and Doogie, lots of great questions and some interesting names as well.
Fantastic names.
Great job on the
fans for
socials.
getting in touch. Don't forget to subscribe to both channels.
Yes, well said. Don't forget to like all the videos, subscribe to both channels. YouTube, Soccer M, Football Daily. Any more?
Subscribe
Subscribe to all the channels. And we've got loads and loads of more football socials. They come thick and fast. Woo! On the show, our next show is Saturday, February the 1st. Some big guests lined up for that one on Soccer M and Football Daily's YouTube from 2:45. So thank you, all of you, for joining us. Big thanks to Wayno, to Dave, to Doogie and to Will Brazier. We will be back then. We will leave you with our best bits tonight. Come on, boys! Woo!
Yeah, I can't believe I did it. I was like 36. I can't believe I scored a bicycle kick. It was like, I was 36. It was an overhead kick, and I pulled my hamstring after that. Not from the overhead kick, from the celebration. Because I nearly ran out of the stadium because I hadn't scored in about 30 games, so I was just excited.
I do remember that.
Yeah. And he was messaging me the other night as well, Nathan Redmond. He was laughing on one of my suits I had. He said, don't you dare laugh at one of my suits. And no, I said, I wished him good luck, but I didn't expect him to score against me. I'm not coming up. We used to get some undefeated at Sky Sports.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Can you believe it?
Substitution, Clinton Morrison.
I can't even react to it because I didn't see it. Goodbye, everyone.
Can you replicate that down camera 3?
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Another screamer! A Bobby Dazzler, if you will! Stuart Armstrong, hallelujah!
Can push.
Go on, that's it!
Goal for Man City!
Oh, I'm so happy about that. Sorry.
It's Sergio Aguero came on. In the dying seconds of Goodison! Goal! Will, what? It was 2-0 Everton with a matter of minutes to go. Bicycle kick at 2-1. We thought it was in vain. It wasn't in vain because Newcastle have equalised. It is 2-2. Yeah! Come on! Come on! The
Dave, pennies for your thoughts?
Edge of the box.